Welcome to Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by your Cincinnati area Toyota dealers. Tonight from the GWalk, a pivotal Region 2 matchup as the Miamisburg Vikings host the Beavercreek Beavers right here on MyTV Dayton. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Matt Digby alongside Coach Jim Place. We will also hear shortly from Tej Joshi. There are many reasons why this is such an important contest tonight, but the most basic one of them, out of the 18 teams of Region 2, 16 advanced to the playoffs. Right now, Miamisburg and Beavercreek are the two on the outside looking in. So whoever wins tonight, that will be one giant step towards getting into the top 16. And in fact, it is such an important match, Coach. You're wearing a special shirt for the occasion.
Yes, I am, Matt. I'll tell you about that. But hey, let's start with Coach Lance Snyder's Miamisburg Vikings. They're heavily favored tonight with good cause. They're just 3 plays away from being in title contention in the mighty GWalk. Good football team, 4 Division I football players. But wait a minute, Matt. Beavercreek Beavers, Coach Marcus Colvin. They landed the big fish when they brought Coach Colvin in from Chaminade Julienne. He's changed the culture. He's got them believing. They don't call it Beavercreek anymore. They call it Colvin's Creek. And they've got these shirts all over Beavercreek. They've had this game circled since day one that this is their chance to show the Miami Valley that there's a new sheriff in town in Beavercreek, and this is their coming out party. We got a good ball game tonight, Matt.
We do. Beavercreek looking for their first GWalk win of the year. Miamisburg looking for their second GWalk win of the year. And it should be a very entertaining and intriguing contest. Let's send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Tej Joshi. Good evening, Tej.
Good evening, guys. It's a beautiful night for football. One thing I gotta say off the bat, this is a awesome stadium. We'll have more updates on the history of the stadium in Miamisburg throughout tonight's broadcast. I also want to talk about number 1 on the home team, on Miamisburg. He's someone who have been watching in warm-ups tonight. Coaches told me he's their punter. He plays safety for them. He is someone who's going to have a huge impact on tonight's game. He's looked really sharp in pregame warm-ups. And as I put it, it's a beautiful night for football. There's a sense of urgency in the room, and we're going to get a check on tonight's forecast for the whole game. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters.
Good evening, everyone. A beautiful evening for some football. Yet another nice one. A little bit warmer than last week's Thursday Night Lights, but still going to be great weather for the game this evening as Beavercreek takes on Miamisburg at Miamisburg. Going to see temperatures in the upper 60s around kickoff. We'll see a partly cloudy sky and then dropping into the lower 60s by later into the evening. Again, a little warmer than last week, but still may need a light sweater or maybe a blanket or a jacket during the evening as that sun sets and temperatures begin to fall.
Thank you, Natalie. Coming up next, the coin toss and the opening kickoff as we get ready for Beavercreek and Miamisburg. You're watching Thursday Night Lights on MyTV Dayton.
Have a heads, the tails, heads, tails. Our honorary captain will toss it tonight. Hold on just a second. You're the visiting team. What's your call? Heads. Heads is the call. Heads. Go ahead and flip it. It is a tail. Miamisburg, you won the toss.
We want to defer.
You want to defer? You'd like to receive, correct?
That's it.
Right. Which goal would you like to defend?
We want to kick off this one.
You'll kick that one so you want to defend the scoreboard? Over there? Right here?
That was referee Todd Barrowman conducting tonight's Donato's coin toss. You saw Miamisburg winning and opting to defer. So Beavercreek will have the opening possession. They will be going left to right across your screen. That means they will be going toward the south end zone. Glad you could join us on a beautiful Thursday evening at Holland Field in Miamisburg. We have been spoiled, and I mean spoiled with a capital S, Coach Jim Place, when it comes to great weather for Thursday Night Lights.
Never seen a season like it. Never would go to week 8 without a rain. I was talking to Coach Mike Snyder before the game. He said, we haven't had rain in practice this year.
So our kickoff, the opening kickoff, is presented by Wright and Schulte.
You know, Matt, people say, well, why do you defer? Well, a lot of teams like that extra possession in the second half. But the big reason is when you're in an outside stadium, which 99% of high schools are, 99.9, you get to win fourth quarter. So by deferring on the kickoff, you get to win in the fourth quarter, which many teams want to do, to kick that game-winning field goal at the end of the game.
The opening kickoff taken by Preston Barr. It's a short kick taken at the 30-yard line by the up man, and it will result in a small gain of about 3 yards. So first down upcoming for the Beavercreek Beavers. And we will take a look shortly at the starting lineup for the Beaver offense as they are in their first year under Marcus Colvin. As Coach mentioned to you in our open, a successful tenure at Chaminade Julienne. and he is now in his first season at Beavercreek. Hasn't been the easiest of seasons, but here's the Beavercreek starting offensive line presented by Premier Health. Reed Frick. It's going to be key for him to have good communication with the quarterback. Spencer Johnson and Quentin Youngblood is their go-to man on offense. On first down from the 33, Johnson in the shotgun with a man in motion, 3 receivers to the right. Johnson with time from the 25, waiting for pressure to dissolve. Now he is forced to scramble to his right, buying some time, and throws right, and it's intercepted on the first play of the game. Christian Davis in the right place at the right time, and what a start for the Miamisburg defense.
Hey, that's Christian Davis. He just started playing defense 2 weeks ago. He's a Ball State commit. He's an all-area player as a running back. The team needed him on defense. He's playing both ways. Wow, did he respond. Already has 2 interceptions. That's his 3rd interception.
So you see Johnson, he was able to buy some time, was trying to thread the needle and complete a pass to number 8, TJ Ellenwood, a late addition to the starting lineup for the Beavers. And Davis able to get in front of Ellenwood to make the pick. And great starting field position from the Beavercreek 42 for the Miamisburg offense. This is Barr, but a flag.
Dead ball. Ball start. Fence. Number 84. 5-yard penalty. Down.
Matt, that's referee Todd Bowerman. Something I thought. There you go, Matt. Starting lineup.
Here are the starting lineups for the Miamisburg offense. Clack, Kyle Holtz, Engo, Hoskins, and Pennington along the line. Brought to you by Premier Health. And the receivers in the backfield. Barr under center. Davis and Smith, the running backs. McGowan, Copsey, and Williams are the wide receivers. Williams says he likes to go in between a receiver and tight end formation. As Barr on first down. Fakes the handoff to Davis. Throws out right. And this is complete for a gain inside the 35, close to the 30 for a first down. That is Connor Smith on the reception, number 3. As here's the Beavercreek starting lineup on defense. Coomer, Lindsay, and Gologly in a 3-4 setup. Those are the defensive linemen. Crawford, Oxler, Gaudette, Colley in the linebacking core. And Ristich, Stacy, Spaeth, and Zima make up the secondary. This first down, in the meantime, also brought to you by Arby's. Miamisburg with the first down of the contest, as we are just about coming up on a minute into the game. Barr with time in the shotgun. Throwing over the middle, in that pass. Was it intercepted? No official signal yet. Now we do. Back-to-back interceptions on the opening possessions of the ball game, and the defenses stand tall. This one is Connor Ristich.
Hey, how about that? You know what? They believe over there in Beavercreek. You know, they've been down from the past few years for whatever reason. Coach Colvin's brought in a whole new culture there. You know, oh, wow. Ball popped out and into his hands. That could be up for our play of the game. But they believe, you know, they didn't put their heads down. And a tough start to the ball game. All of a sudden, they got the ball back and a fresh start.
That's one thing Coach Colvin told me when I spoke with him yesterday, the confidence, what went well, especially in their wins earlier in the season against Franklin opponents, and then in the first half last week against Centerville when they were holding their own before the Elks ultimately pulled away. So interceptions for both teams on their opening drive means Beavercreek is back out on the field starting from about their 21-yard line. This is a handoff up the middle. First carry tonight for Quentin Youngblood, and he will have close to a first down. It will bring up second and short before he is finally stopped at about the 30-yard line.
Now, keep your eye on number 7. You just saw him in the picture there. He's what's called the H-back, and you'll see him lining up in the formation now. He lines up right behind one of the tackles. Follow him. 80% of the time, where the ball's going, he's going.
Luke Kowalski is who Place was mentioning, but Johnson on the keeper this time. He may have enough for the first down. They may have to measure. Here are the starting lineups for the Miamisburg defense presented by Premier Health. Akio Perry, Dunaway, and Abu Chakra on the line. Penrod, Dyer, Ennis, and Gilman, a 3-4 defense, just like Beavercreek. And Davis, Stickle, Davis, and Owens. Again, Christian Davis with the interception on Beavercreek's first drive.
Watch for number 7, Kowalski, where he goes. I think this is going to be powered right up on that right side there.
On third and short, Johnson with the keeper. He will have a first down out to about the 33-yard line. So that will be the Beavers' first down of the contest, presented by Arby's.
Coach Coleman's got to be feeling pretty good right now. Matt, that is called power read option. Now, what they do there is they run the power towards Kowalski on where the H-back is. The quarterback reads. Sometimes he's reading the backside end. Sometimes he's reading the backside linebacker, depending on who they want to block, who they don't want to block. That last time he read backside linebacker, he flew to the power, which meant keep the ball.
3 receivers to the left for Johnson, and he is rolling to his left. His pass complete. Enough for at least 5, maybe 6 yards, and that was Luke Kowalski, who you referenced. He lined up behind in this situation, the left tackle, and picked up roughly 6 yards.
Now they're going to sneak him out in the backfield. Nice ball. Tough to go throwing left. You see the way his shoulders were parallel to the sideline. Tough thrown across your body, but nice throw by Johnson. Big quarterback, 190 pounds.
Young blood in the backfield on the left hip of Johnson. One man in motion is Ellenworth. Johnson rolling to his left again, trying to buy some time, quickly running out of it. And he may be tackled for a loss on the play. That was good awareness by the Miamisburg defense. Multiple players in the right spot at the right time, especially number 75, A.J. Sally.
Hey, he's interesting. He was a UC commit. He's decommitted. He's opened his recruiting back up. He's rated one of the top 50 players in the state of Ohio. As a matter of fact, Miamisburg 3 players rated in the top. UC commit. He's decided not to go there. A lot of people are talking Iowa State, some other things, so we'll see where he ends up.
I believe I heard Iowa and Ohio State also in that category of schools he's strongly considering.
There's that H-back again. I look for him to come across the formation. This play go over to the left.
3rd down, line to gain is the 44-yard line. Johnson rolling to his right. Able to buy some time, but he's going to have to get rid of the ball quickly. He does so, but it is an incompletion. So Johnson did very well on 1 3rd down for the QB keeper up the middle to pick up a 1st down, but this 3rd down try not successful, and with 8:13 to go in the opening quarter, Beavercreek is going to have to punt.
A 4th down, 42-yard line. Any chance of a fake, Matt?
This early in the game, you never know.
You never know. Coach Colvin's coming here to win. You talk about a culture. He is one of the best.
And that positivity spreading down to his players as number 85 is back to punt and nearly blocked.
How did he get that out?
But Sean Morse able to get the kickoff. But again, good starting field position upcoming for Miamisburg at about their own 34-yard line with just over 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break. It is Thursday Night Lights, Beavercreek and Miamisburg on MyTV Dayton. Welcome back to Miamisburg. It is scoreless just about 4 minutes into the contest between Beavercreek and Miamisburg. A lot of pink around the stands tonight, both on the Beavercreek side and the Miamisburg side. Of course, October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Dayton 24/7 now. You got a chance to catch our programming last night. It was we had a telethon in order to promote awareness for breast cancer and raising money. Certainly pink is the theme tonight at Holland Field. Miamisburg ready for their second drive of the ball game. It will start from their own 34, and it's a handoff. It looks to be number 4, Copsey, switching his field and has a couple of blockers inside the 50, 40, still has a blocker, and eventually pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Great play by Drew Copsey to find space up the right side, reverse field, and give himself an even bigger gain, and it will put the Vikings just outside the red zone.
Jet sweep. All of a sudden, he breaks it all the way back. You know, Matt, every defense has to have a player called an edge player. I used to call it CRC, counter reverse cutback player. He's got to stay home and make sure nothing cuts past him. They keep contained that time. The edge got lost.
Christian Davis on the play as the first down brought to you by Arby's. Davis very close to picking up another first down, and this run will take the Vikings into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for after the game. Order online or over the phone.
Hey, offensive coordinator and head coach Lance Snyder for the Miamisburg Vikings, he's in the press box. And some people say that's unusual. Well, I talked to Lance. He did it at Northmont. He does it here at Miamisburg. I totally understand his reason. He says, Coach, one of the most important things I can do is call the plays. He said, I can get a better view from the press box. He said, I totally trust my coaches on the field, one of which is his dad, Mike Snyder, who I'm going to talk about later, and Coach Coach Eric Big Time Gillespie. There we go.
It was a Wildcat quarterback as The running back, Brock Vaughn, shifted to take the direct snap, but we do have a flag on the play.
So Lance is calling the plays from up here in the box. He's very comfortable with it. It works. You have to have great trust in your assistants, which he's got great assistant coaches here at Miamisburg. One of which is his dad.
Backfield. 5-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage. Second down.
Hey man, I was going to say earlier, that's referee Todd Bowerman. Did you see during the flip coin toss, if everyone turned in for the pregame, he said to one of the Beavercreek players, your face guard has to be clear. Now, when we come back from this play, I'm going to explain what that means and why they have that rule. A little surprised the player at week 8 would still have a tinted face guard.
Vaughn back in the Wildcat formation. Akio Perry, one of the starting defensive linemen, is in the backfield as a blocker as Vaughn throwing left has a man open for a short completion. That's going to be Connor Smith. Tackled in play. It will bring up second and about 4.
So while we're watching this replay, let me talk about that tinted face guard. So a face guard is just that. It's a piece of plastic, goes over the top part of your face guard, and a lot of players like it because they think it protects their eyes and their face and their nose better. Now the problem is they have clear ones and they have tinted ones. They have red, blue, green. A lot of players like their helmets to be color coordinated. Well, the problem is when you have an injury, the trainer has to be able to see the player's eyes for many, many cases. Tinted face masks are illegal. I'm surprised stores still sell them. Players still buy them. They're illegal with good cause, safety.
Vaughn still in at the Wildcat quarterback. He will maneuver his way for a first down close to the 10-yard line. So that Wildcat formation working on this second drive for the Vikings. That takes them to about the 10-yard line. So a first and goal setup upcoming as the Vikings hope to open the scoring. We were talking with Coach Snyder yesterday. He was saying it was little mistakes that add up to why Miamisburg.
We're going power left here. He's going to give the ball to Dave, a key over the left side.
As Vaughn.
Nope, I'm wrong.
Scrambling to his right, trying to buy some time. Has to get rid of it, throwing it to the end zone. A jump ball. Caught by Copsey, but he did not get the foot down. That is the ultimate definition of a jump ball, and it very nearly worked in Miamisburg's favor, but Copsey could not keep his foot inside the blue of the end zone. That was good awareness. It was not too late for Connor Ristich, who had the interception of Barr on the Vikings' first drive.
High school, 1 foot down. High school, 1 foot down. Which foot comes down first? You know what? If that
like
inside foot came down first, it's a touchdown. I'm not criticizing the official. He's right there. I mean, he's looking right at it. So obviously the outside foot came down first. Great job by our camera guys here. Oh, we got great crew. Our cameramen, they work Bengals games. They work Reds games. We got the.
Here's a great angle upcoming.
What do you think? Which foot first?
And we're going to have a timeout in the meantime. Oh my, the right foot came down first from that angle.
Now, how close is that? I'm certainly not going to criticize any official on that one. No, if this was NFL or college, you'd have 30 pre-pro. Hey, our camera guys are great. John down in the booth, he's the best. He's the best. He's working high school games. He works Reds. He works Bengals. He works Reds. You come in and say, where are you working this week, John? I'm a little tired. Worked 4 Reds games this week, or going down to OU this weekend. Top crew, top cameraman, too.
They will be at my alma mater, Ohio University, as they get ready for the Bobcats homecoming on Saturday down at Peden Stadium in Athens.
And there's Coach Doug Berry. He calls the plays. Lance Siegels calls them down to him on the press box. Doug was a quarterback for Mike Snyder and Wayne way back in the 80s. His son was the quarterback here the past 2 years. One thing about the Miamisburg staff, anytime you say we're Snyders, they put together great staffs. They make coaching fun. If you coach in the Snyder family, you have fun coaching. Doug Berry played quarterback for Mike back in the day. Wayne. We'll talk more about Mike and the Snyder family.
So second down and goal after the timeout taken by Miamisburg. Vaughn still in at quarterback, quickly throwing left. It is caught, 1 broken tackle, and forced out of bounds about the 3-yard line. That is number 84 on the reception, Jackson McGowan. First time we called his name tonight. He's had a couple of key touchdown catches this season for the Viking offense.
Listen, Jason McGowan, a 6'5", 220 senior, runs like a running back, blocks. He does everything. UC commit. UC got a good one. Coach Place almost never says this. This young man has a chance of playing on Sundays. I don't mean Saturdays. He's going to play on Saturdays. He is really. You should see some of the catches he's made. I got to go in the film room with Mike Snyder the other day. He showed me all the Odell Beckham catches that McGowan's made this year. UC got a good one.
3rd down and goal from the 4. It is Vaughn, a keeper up the middle, able to get to about the 2. But now here comes the first major decision of the game for Schneider. Do you go for it on 4th down or settle for a field goal?
Oh, Lance Snyder, that's offense. Yeah, that's his middle name, Lance Offense Snyder. He's going to go for it. There's Coach Barry signaling the play in. You know what? McGowan came on that jet sweep there. That's an awful big body coming around that corner. I might look at that. Or you got Kristen Davis, the Ball State commit. Although Akia Perry's in there at running back right now.
He's been running back a couple of plays this drive. So 4th and goal from the 2. Vaughn throwing over the middle.
Big guy.
It is caught by McGowan. Did he get a foot down? Yes. Touchdown, Vikings.
The one thing I like about that, when you got the crucial play of the game, go to your best player. You know what? When I was coaching, I always told my offensive coordinator, whatever happens in this ball game, make sure our best player is not taken away by us. Make the opponent take our best play away. I like that call. Lance Snyder, get the ball to McGowan. He's good. UC, they got a good one.
That touchdown brought to you by Donato's, as here comes the extra point. Going to be attempted by Barr with Vaughn to hold. And they went back to that one play. Vaughn tried to throw the ball up toward the back of the end zone, intended for Copsey, who made the catch but couldn't quite get the foot down. This time McGowan does get the foot down, and the Vikings are on the board with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Timeout for Miamisburg. You're watching Premier Health Thursday Night Lights on MyTV Dayton. Full moon at Holland Field overlooking the city of Miamisburg. Glad you could join us for Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by your Cincinnati area Toyota dealers. Matt Digby, Jim Place, Tej Joshi, who we will speak with in just a quick second after this kickoff. 4.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Miamisburg coming off a 66-yard drive, resulting in a touchdown pass from Brock Vaughn to Jackson McGowan. As here's the kickoff, brought to you by Wright and Schulte, and losing his balance while fielding the kickoff for Beavercreek was Riley Rasmussen. So Beavercreek will take over at their own 4. In the meantime, let's throw it down to Tej Joshi on the sideline.
Hey guys, I want to tell you some really cool stuff about this stadium. It was built about 6 years ago, and you take a look over here, there are a lot of stadium-style seats here, not bleachers, and these are actually seats that came here from the Daytona International Speedway. The school actually bought them at a big discount and got them put in. There are 5,000 of these seats here in the stadium, a really cool aspect of this. Let's send it back up to you guys up in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, Tej. Very cool that they were able to make that deal with Daytona International Speedway.
Every seat has a back to it. That's amazing. Usually you go to the visitor side, you got bleachers.
Yeah.
Amazing stadium. Great place.
So Beavercreek begins their 3rd drive from their own 4. Johnson will take the shotgun snap from the end zone, hand off to Youngblood, who gets close to the 10-yard line. So that will give the Beavers a little bit more room to work with. And when you're pinned that deep in your own territory, you only have so many options.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we talked about that H-back, Luke Kowalski. If they run it to the side he's going to, they call that power. If they run it where he comes across the formation like he did here, they call that counter. Pull the backside guard. The backside guard leads.
And using the spin move if necessary as Youngblood again, this time going to the left side. Looked like he had a chance to break one tackle, but he will be stopped for no gain, so it will be 3rd down. And they're actually going to mark a loss on this play, so 3rd down and 5 upcoming, as we are now under 4 minutes to go. Beavercreek, their first drive, they had one play. It was an interception by Christian Davis. And then the second drive, they were able to pick up a 1st down, but ultimately had to punt.
Man, I can't find Christian Davis. You know, he hasn't played on offense or defense in the last couple series. My gosh, I hope he's okay. The Ball State commit, he's a great young man, great football player. I'll try and keep an eye on the bench, see what's going on.
3rd down, the line to gain to the 14, and it's Johnson on the keeper. He will be very close If not a first down, it will be 4th and inches.
First
but we'll
down.
see where they spot. They are giving the first down mark. So a first down brought to you by Arby's. That's the second first down of the game for Beavers. They've both come on Johnson quarterback carries up the middle.
Hey, I mentioned the possibility of Kristen Davis being injured. I want to talk about the Miamisburg trainer.
On first down, Johnson quickly finds himself under pressure from Dayton Ennis. Gets the throw off in time. That's complete for a short gain to Nicholas Oxner.
Hey, the trainer for Miamisburg is named Dave Coxon. They call him Cookie. He's been a trainer for over 40 years. Every event, you can talk about a camp, a clinic, or anything involved sports. Dave Coxon probably covered it. He's one of the really good ones. Oh, what do we got? Sideline warning against Miamisburg. Let's explain what that means. You have a box there that's painted in white. Before the snap, you're allowed 3 people in that box. Usually you got the head coach in there and maybe a messenger or one other. But on the snap, everybody has to be out of the box. And sideline warning means that they had somebody in the box, or maybe they had 4 before the snap.
You say usually one of those 3 spots is the head coach. Well, Miamisburg's head coach Lance Schneider is up here in the press box.
Right, so they can add one in the box there.
So second down, handoff for Youngblood, and he's met right at the point of contact. Did the ball come loose? Yes, it did, and Miamisburg recovering in the red zone.
Oh, hey, that's Drew Dunaway, 6'3", 245 junior. He's got a Georgia Tech offer. He is a D1. He's a junior. He'll be what? Look at him, look at him, look at him. Oh, no,
that's Aiden Dyer.
Yeah.
Aiden Dyer, the inside linebacker.
Yep.
Dunaway was in pursuit, but you see the handoff right to Quentin Youngblood. As soon as he receives the ball, what a play by Dyer to knock the ball loose and get his own recovery.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't know. I thought it was Dunaway. Hey, he's a captain, so that tells you something. What of his teammates think of him? 6'2", 203 senior. Big play there.
So a very short field upcoming for Miamisburg to start their 3rd drive of the night. It will, in fact, be in the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for after the game, either online or by phone.
Let's see what defensive coordinator Caleb Ringer is going to ring up here for Beavercreek. Is he going to bring some heat?
Barr back in at quarterback as Miamisburg alternating men under center, and a throw to the end zone. Caught by McGowan for a touchdown.
The big guy.
Jackson McGowan with his 2nd touchdown catch of the night from 16 yards, and it's a 13-0 ball game. That touchdown brought to you by Donato's.
Well, you got a weapon, you make sure you go to him.
With just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Vikings overcoming that rocky start on offense when they threw an interception on their first drive. It has turned out not to hurt them, and in fact, they're on the verge of taking a 14-0 lead, extra point pending. It is Barr to kick, Vaughn to hold. Kick on the way, and it is good. 2:04 to play in the first quarter. McGowan, 3 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns, and the Vikings are out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter. Great read there by Barr. It was another jump ball with McGowan and Ristich, but McGowan able to use his size to maneuver himself in a position where he could make the play and catch the ball.
That's called 6'5" against 5'8". You know what? Connor Ristich is in perfect position, did everything right. He's just going against a Division I player. Hey, something about the big guy, Jason McGowan. He's gone on the principals advisory board. He's a leader on the team. He's a leader on the field. He had many. He has still people calling him now. LSU called him this week. Said, hey, you sure you want to go to UC? He is solid. He's all UC. And they got a good one. You wonder how UC wins so many games down there with Coach Luke Fickle. They get guys that were just a little under the radar in the beginning. He's not under the radar anymore. Everybody wants him now. But Jason McGowan, he's a good one.
This kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte. Barr boots it back as far as the 7-yard line.
Oh, my gosh.
This is Rasmussen out past the 20, close to the 23-yard line. Riley Rasmussen on the return. Like you say, so far a great night for Jackson McGowan, who is headed to Cincinnati. It should not be forgotten. There are only a handful of years left in the American before they move to the Big 12.
That's right.
They have that big change.
Right, man. Hey, another story about Jason McGowan. Miamisburg is playing the altar. Coach Day is right on the sideline down here looking at Hicks, the linebacker that went up there. McGowan made one of those Odell Beckham catches right in front of him. You can see Coach Day on the sideline. I thought, Coach, take him, make him a Buckeye. I'm not so sure he would have gone. Hey, they're having success with that power play.
Youngblood able to manage a gain out of this run on first down, but his helmet did come off. He does jump up quickly, so it's good to see that he's not injured, but he will have to leave the field for at least one play because his helmet came off.
Youngblood having a little there it is. Watch number 7 come around, lead up in there. The 8's back. Yeah. High school rules, you got to come out of play, helmet off, safety.
Johnson, the QB keeper on second down. Was hit at the line of scrimmage by Dunaway, able to fashion the short gain out of it, and in fact it will be enough for a first down presented by Arby's. So that is the second first down of the night for Beavercreek. It comes with about a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Johnson, another keeper, out past the 35, able to break a couple tackles, get close to about the 39 as Beavercreek trying to get past midfield for the first time in this game. They have not been able to do so just yet.
Offensive coordinator is Corey Freed. Corey was the head football coach at Dunbar High for a number of years. Is Dunaway going to get off? He got off. There's that power again.
Youngblood back in the game, up the middle. That's enough for another Arby's first down for Beavercreek. And it comes in the final minute of the first quarter. So Beavercreek, now they're going quick tempo.
Look for the power again. Counter this time.
And again, it's Youngblood. Breaks off one tackle, gets past the 50, so that will be the first time tonight Beavercreek has gotten into Miamisburg territory. It will bring up second and about 7.5 or 8.
Going hurry up offense. They got him the jump. There's a Keo Perry, 22. He's no guard, but he's playing running back now. Whatever's going on with Kristen Davis, Keo's playing running, so he's playing both ways. He's a special teams player. He's a real good ball player.
So second and about 2 as a result of the flag. It's Youngblood up the middle again. That's going to be enough for a first down. He will get to about the 37-yard line.
That should take us to the
as
quarter.
Youngblood picks up a first down brought to you by Arby's.
Hurry up offense, trying to catch Miamisburg a little out of sync.
If they wanted to, they could let the clock run out, but I think they're having such momentum right now with this quick tempo. They want to try to get as many plays as they can before the clock runs out. Johnson.
The defense can jump as long as they don't go into the neutral zone. Neutral zone is the front, for the defense is the front tip of the ball. We got quarter.
And they indeed let the clock run out on the first quarter. So a very entertaining first quarter. Miamisburg getting the early momentum, but Beavercreek is on the move. Vikings lead 14-0 on Thursday Night Lights, presented by your Cincinnati area Toyota dealers. Beavercreek with the ball and on the move, although they trail Miamisburg 14-0 at the start of the second quarter of Thursday Night Lights. There is Beavercreek head coach Marcus Colvin, his first season with the Beavers after a successful tenure at Chaminade-Julienne. But the Beavers, for the first time tonight, pass midfield, and Spencer Johnson on the keeper rolling to his left. He's able to pick up a significant gain, and we do have a flag come in after the play. We will wait and see the result of this flag. Tom Bowerman and his crew, they've been fairly busy tonight with the laundry.
Good crew. GWAC crew, been around a lot of years, a lot of veteran officials. I think they're talking face mask. Oh, wow.
Targeting.
Contact to the head. Yeah, Matt. Hey, offensive coordinator for Beavercreek again. He's Corey Freed. He was the head coach at Dunbar for a number of years, had success there. There's head coach Coach Colvin. He's firing them up. Fire him up, Coach Colvin. Corey, though, he left to become an assistant and offense coordinator at Beavercreek. They gave him a teaching job. Here's the big thing. He lives in Beavercreek. His son's a 7th grader there. He's all in on Beavercreek. They got a good one. Marcus put together a good staff. Corey Freed, offensive coordinator.
On first down, brought to you by Arby's inside the Donato's delivery zone. Johnson rolling left, and he's able to manage a small gain out of the play. It will still bring up second and long, but again, the result of the flag moving Beavercreek not only into another an all-seal home improvement first down, but also into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great pick call for after the game, online or pickup.
With that power. There's the power.
This is Youngblood, but again, right as soon as he received the ball, it was number 34, Aiden Gilman, on the coverage. So we'll bring up third down.
Defensive coordinator in Miamisburg is Eric Big Play Gillespie. I'm so proud to say he played for me at the Stebbins Indians. Then he went on to an outstanding college career in college, and he's been a head coach at Hamilton, head coach at Richmond, head coach at Springfield. Coach E, they call him. Big Play Gillespie. Top defensive coordinator.
Third down for the Beavers. Line to gain is the 6, and Youngblood may have it. He may have a first down inside the 5-yard line. That is a first down brought to you by All Seal Home Improvement and Beavercreek knocking on the door to open their scoring account, and they're going with a quick tempo offense. Johnson already lining up under center from the shotgun. Another handoff to Youngblood. Bet in the backfield,
Dunaway.
And he's taken down for a loss by Dunaway and by also number 12, Nathan Ennis.
Yeah. That's the big college prospect, Drew Dunaway. Plays basketball, averages 10 a game in basketball.
So Beavercreek having the reset now, second and goal.
Ennis on that tackle.
Johnson again rolling to his left. Able to get back to about the 4, but it's still going to bring up third down.
Hey, the guy that blew that up is Baylor Stickle. Coach Mike Snyder says, watch this guy, special teams. When we need him on offense, he punts, he does everything. Mike says he's our best player. One of them, with all those D1 guys, look at Baylor Stickle. He's all over the field. He's got his face painted. He's crying before the game. He's a throwback player. I like Baylor Stickle. He's on the Jim Place all-tough guy team.
Desmond Owens also there. You saw number 15 on the coverage for the Viking defense. As for third and goal, Johnson will line up directly under center. One man in motion, and now we have a timeout.
I heard Coach E coming up all the way up here in the press box.
So Beavercreek will call a timeout with about 9.5 minutes left in the second quarter. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the Beavers third and goal from the 4 as they tried to get on the board. You're watching Thursday Night Lights from Miamisburg. 9:34 to go to halftime at Holland Field. Miamisburg with a 14-0 lead on Beavercreek, but the Beavers have a third and goal from the Viking 4-yard line, as this by far their most successful drive to date tonight. And can the Beavers make it pay off with points?
What do you think, Matt? Put the ball in the air or stick with that power game that's got them down there?
Well, there are two men in the backfield as Johnson lines up under center from the 4-yard line. And this is a handoff. Good for a gain of about 2 yards, but it's going to be short. Nick Oxner on the carry. Well, fourth down, I think you're so close you got to go at this point.
Yep. They're running right behind number 70, the right tackle, J.R. Costello. He's a 3-year starter. He's a 3.8 student. Dad's retired military, retired Air Force, like so many people in the Miami Valley. All that Wright Patterson Air Force brings to this community is amazing. J.R. Costello, 6'5", 250. Let's see if they go over that right tackle. I look for some kind of play action here, though. Put the ball up in the air.
Miamisburg successfully converted the fourth down into a touchdown. Now Beavercreek's turn. Handoff up the middle, and it is a touchdown for the Beavers.
Hey,
C.J. Crawford up the middle for a touchdown brought to you by Donato's, and the Beavers are on the board.
Ran behind Lucas Comer, big 6'2", 240-pound senior left tackle. Boy, Beavercreek's back in the ball game. This is Marcus Colwin football. Heart, spirit, culture.
A much-needed touchdown for the Beaver offense after their second drive was promising but ended in a punt. The first and third drives both ended in turnovers. But now C.J. Crawford from 2 yards out, putting Beavercreek on the board with 8:50 to go in the first half. Point after is good, so it's a 14-7 game. As here's another look at that touchdown. Crawford refusing to be denied. He was met from very close range by a Miamisburg linebacker. Looked like Gage Murphy may have gotten first touch, but not in time to prevent Crawford from finding pay dirt.
Hey, how about C.J. Crawford? He's a 6'2", 225-pound junior. He wrestled at 215 last year, had a 43-11 record, went into the regionals, almost made it to the state. They call him Crawdaddy. He's their starting inside linebacker. They got good linebacker. I'm going to talk more about their linebacker play later. There he is, number 25, C.J. Crawford. Crawdaddy, they call him. His dad played football at UC, said he and Dad talk football all the time, and Dad says, CJ, just one thing, just be better than me. He said, I challenge you to be better than you. He said, that motivates me. He said, my dad wants me to, some dads don't want their sons to be as good as them. CJ says, my dad wants me better than him. He is a good looking 43-11. I love football players that wrestle. Man, football and wrestling, they go hand in hand. 43-11 at 215. Watch for him in wrestling this year. Only a junior. Oh, hey, he's the D1 prospect. He definitely. Miami Valley's loaded with D1 prospects.
This upcoming kickoff is brought to you by Wright and Schulte, as back to kick for Beavercreek is number 85, Sean Morse. Two men fairly close to each other back on the receiving end for the Vikings is Connor Smith and number 1, Baylor Stickle. As the kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte in the air, this is going to be Stickle from about the 6-yard line. Has space to get out past the 20, past the 25, quickly runs into a mass of bodies, now springs to the left side.
Go house. What a kicker, good job.
And an important tackle by the kicker, Sean Morse, but not before Stickle gets past midfield, giving Miamisburg great starting position again. And it also is important because we should note something we may not have mentioned yet, but Christian Davis currently not in the game after recording an interception on the first play from scrimmage. Davis currently has not yet returned to the field of play.
This is the guy they call one of their best players as a senior. He's the heart and soul of this team. He does everything for him. Offense, defense, he kicks, he returns kicks. This is an old-time guy. This is the old high school football player that does everything.
Started from his own 6 and eventually stopped at the Beavercreek 43-yard line. So a return of 51 yards as Barr back in at quarterback. His third drive under center. He throws over to Connor Smith. That's complete for a first down close to the 20. So Miamisburg, after giving up that touchdown on 4th down, they're quickly on the move, and that first down brought to you by All Seal Home Improvement.
Coach Lance Snyder came out with what's called a tight bunch, which is 3 receivers all very close to the line of scrimmage. And then they do a lot of crossing. Out of tight bunch, you see all the receivers crisscross, very hard to cover. Wide receiver, number 3 pops open out of that tight bunch formation.
That was number 12, Brent Couch, on the coverage to prevent Smith from getting inside the red zone for the moment. But on first down, Barr running to his left. Has an angle. There is a flag down. Barr does get to about the 10-yard line, so another first down flag pending.
It's going to be on Beavercreek. Nope. A defensive coordinator for Beavercreek, Caleb Ringer. Yes, that is the Ringer family. Javon Ringer and all kind of other, Kevin Ringer, all kind of other great players. I had a great privilege of coaching Javon and CJ. Caleb, all you fans out there in Northmont, remember him? Holding. Caleb went on to play for the University of Michigan. Defensive coordinator. He's a fire-up guy. Caleb, he's real emotional.
Oh, Caleb, yeah. Javon, I remember, was a top 10 Heisman finalist when he was at Michigan State. But
I'm so proud
confirmation on the holding call against Miamisburg, so that will negate what would have been a first down run into the red zone for Preston Barr. It will instead bring up 1st and 20 from the 31-yard line with 7:57 to go until halftime.
One time I'm glad the officials' mic's not working quite right. I hate it when they call the players' numbers. There's that tight bunch again. Look for all kind of crisscrossing out of it.
One man on the right hip of Barr, who has the QB keeper up the middle inside the 30 before he is tripped up by Nick Oxner, but not before a small gain. So we'll bring up 2nd and still about 16, 17 yards.
Hey, 19, Nick Oxner, senior inside linebacker, 5'10", 200. And, of course, we already talked about Crawdaddy. C.J. Crawford, the other linebacker, the D1 prospect. They are 2 of the best linebacking crew in the Miami Valley. Very active, very tough. Third linebacker coach, Matt Sears, another guy that I'm so proud to say played for me at the C.J. Eagles. Matt Sears, he's a tough guy. So I guarantee you those linebackers are going to be tough playing for Matt Sears. Matt Sears came out of St. Anthony's Parish on the East End. One of the little gentlemen of the East End, the pride of Jerry Rife.
On 2nd and 17, Barr going to the end zone. A long pass intended for McGowan. He wins the jump ball for a touchdown.
And that is why he's going to UC.
A trifecta of touchdown catches for the future UC Bearcats. And Miamisburg responds to the Beavercreek touchdown with one of their own.
Yeah, you say, well, hey, how can they give that up? The defensive back was in perfect position, but you got 6'5" against 5'8". Pretty simple formula. You know, a good call by Coach Lance Snyder, realizing go after it, throw the ball up there.
So
you got a weapon, you use it.
McGowan has now caught all 3 touchdowns tonight for the Miamisburg offense. One of those passes coming from Brock Vaughn, 2 from Barr, as Barr kicks the extra points. And it is back to a 14-point lead for the Vikings with 7:06 to go in the second quarter. Miamisburg up 14 on Thursday Night Lights. Timeout from Holland Field. Beavercreek got on the scoreboard less than 2 minutes of game action ago with a run from C.J. Crawford, but less than 2 minutes later, Preston Barr connecting with Jackson McGowan for the 28-yard touchdown pass. And Miamisburg up to a 21-7 lead on the Beavercreek Beavers in this game where playoff points at stake. It cannot be stated enough how vital this game is for both teams if they want to find themselves in the Region 2 postseason. This kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte. As 2 men back for Beavercreek. Quentin Youngblood and Riley Rasmussen. This is going to be Rasmussen up past the 25-yard line, past the 30, and a gain close to the 34-yard line. That's where Beavercreek will take over for their next possession. Down to the sideline, the Miamisburg student section, joined by Tej Joshi.
The Miamisburg fans have had a lot to celebrate tonight, and as you can see, the students are doing a pink out. It is October, and get this, you see that pink baby powder in the air? They made that special for tonight's game. They are going crazy here for this pink out. They're having a lot of fun, a lot of seniors right here up front. We're going to back up to you guys in the broadcast booth.
All right, thank you, Tej. A lot of pink tonight on both sides of the field in both stands as Spencer Johnson with the QB keeper up past the 40. Very close to a first down. Very nearly ran into one of the officials, but it will be second and short upcoming for Johnson. Again.
See if Coach Freed stays with that power game that worked so well in the last drive.
It did work very well, just runs up the middle. It ultimately culminated with the C.J. Crawford run for a touchdown as Miamisburg making a late substitution on defense. This is Youngblood, had a little bit of trouble handling the handoff from Johnson, and that will mean a small loss on the play, so third down and a little longer than 2 upcoming.
Mason Penrod, the 6', 185-pound junior, blowing it up in the backfield. Coach E dialing up a little bit of heat. Coach Eric Gillespie, the big play. How did he get that nickname? Went house in a game when he was a Stebbins Indian, won the ball game from his defensive back position. Went on to a great career at the Citadel.
Coming up on the 6-minute mark of the first half, as Beavercreek a very important third down here. The line to gain is their own 45-yard line. And off to Youngblood. Did not look to have it at first, but he was able to fight through and gain enough for a first down presented by Allseal before his helmet came off. Again, he's walking over to the sideline under his own power. Thankfully, no injury, but the helmet does come off. For the second time, you will have to leave the field for at least one play. First down brought to you by Allseal.
You wonder, is his chin strap not tight enough? Is his helmet too big? But either way, I saw Coach Jim Perry, who is the special teams coach, looking at that helmet. They got to get that fixed. They can't have Youngblood come out of the ball game. Johnson
throws left to T.J. Ellenworth, who gets across midfield for a small gain before he is tackled. But Beavercreek, second straight drive, they have moved across midfield. Last time they did so, it resulted in a touchdown. And if they can get a touchdown here, it also chew up some clock while you're at it. This drive already coming up on 2 minutes.
They look good, Beavercreek. Fighting hard. You know, they're getting mismatched with McGowan. And, you know, a lot of teams have done that over the last 3 years.
That was Johnson on the keeper rolling right. He was stopped for a short gain by Mason Penrod and multiple other Miamisburg defenders. So it will be 3rd and 5 upcoming. Line to gain is the Miamisburg 41-yard line. They're at the 46. Glad you could join us wherever you are on Thursday Night Lights. Matt Digby, Jim Place, Tej Joshi, and our crew. We are in the G-Walk for week number 8. Major matchup as far as Region 2 playoff points are concerned. This is Youngblood, only got as far as the 46 or 45, a small gain if any, so it will be 4th down upcoming.
There's number 9, Drew Dunaway, the college prospect, only a junior. Likes to draw. He says, Coach Place, there's a lot of stress. He said, I like to draw. That relaxes me. 10 a game in basketball.
Beavercreek will punt tonight for the 2nd time. It is Sean Morse back deep to punt.
Good
and
kicker,
Connor Smith to receive.
Good punter, good kicker.
Remember, it was Stickle who had the 50-plus yard kickoff return just recently, but this punt will not be pinned as deep. In fact, we do have a flag on the play.
I kind of think this is on Miamisburg. A special teams coach for Miamisburg is Mike Snyder. He's the father of head coach Lance Snyder. Oh, if you know Miami Valley High School football, there's Coach Colvin. He doesn't
look too happy. That penalty maybe against Miami or against Beavercreek if Colvin's
personal foul, face mask on the defense.
That's on Miamisburg.
Yeah. Now was it before the first down?
Must have been after the punt because Miamisburg will still
Coach Colvin
have the ball for a 1st down.
Yeah, I was talking about Mike Snyder. If you know Miami Valley High School football, you know Mike Snyder. There was a time when everybody in the Miami Valley ran the ball, and then out of nowhere came something called Air Snyder. He was the head coach of Miamisburg. He took it to Wayne, took Wayne up to another level with Air Snyder. Everybody in town, if you want to talk football, you want to talk to Mike Snyder. He's now the special teams coach, works with his son Lance. He's on the sideline. Great coach, great person. Talk more about the Snyder family a little bit later.
So as a result of the penalty, Miamisburg's drive begins at their own 21-yard line. It's a handoff to Barr, who's looking to pass out of the backfield. And that pass is complete for a Viking 1st down. And guess who? Jackson McGowan again inside the 50. And that's a Miamisburg 1st down presented by All Seal Home Improvement.
And Snyder says, get him the ball. Pass, halfback pass, whatever. Get him the ball. I look for him to carry the ball on some jet sweeps.
The fact that they have both quarterbacks in the field for that play. Brock Vaughn with a handoff to Preston Barr. Both of them have touchdown passes to McGowan earlier in the contest. And here's Vaughn, though it's a fake to Baylor Stickle. Breaks off one tackle and very close to another 1st down inside the 40.
Mr. Everything, Baylor Stickle.
Well, he had the 50-plus yard kickoff return not too long ago, and another 9-yard gain there. Running. They will mark him 2nd and short.
Put that shoulder down and run hard. Whoa. Yeah, I love those running backs that say, you're not punishing me, I'm going to punish you. Well, I love those running backs that when there's a time that comes when you're trapped, you say, I'm not taking the hits, I'm punishing you. There's the Division I prospect, C.J. Crawford.
The Beavercreek player who Stickle was able to shake off the tackle. He is okay. He is up and moving on the sideline, thankfully not injured. On 2nd and short, Vaughn with a handoff to Stickle running to his right side. Has enough for a 1st down, and the ball may have come out, though the ball was ruled down before the ball came loose. And it's another Miamisburg 1st down presented by All Seal Home Improvement. This time it moves them inside the 30-yard line.
So with Christian Davis out of the ball game, we're going to see a lot of Stickle there, and we're also going to see the nose guard, Akea Perry, alternating at running back. They both are defensive starters, going to have to play both ways.
Ed Davis on the first play from scrimmage had an interception of Spencer Johnson, but has not returned to the field of play since. Miamisburg, their first drive ended in an interception, but since then they have found the end zone every time as Vaughn throwing over the middle. This pass caught by Connor Smith has a blocker, and Connor Smith into the end zone for a Viking touchdown brought to you by Donato's.
It's called an RPO, run pass option. They read the backside linebacker away from the run play. If they see him flowing to the run, they're going to dump that ball in the zone he vacated. That is RPO as it's drawn up on the playbook. Nice call by Coach Lance Snyder.
So Brock Vaughn with his 2nd touchdown pass of the night from 27 yards to Connor Smith. It's good to give Miamisburg a 27-7 lead, extra point pending. And here is Barr to attempt that extra point. with 2:09 to play until halftime. 14 points in the first quarter for the Vikings. Now 13, about to be 14 extra point pending. Now it's 14 in the second quarter, and it's a 28-7 lead. Connor Smith, the first man besides Jackson McGowan to record a receiving touchdown for the Miamisburg Vikings tonight.
There's the RPO. He read the backside linebacker.
And Tegan Williams with a great block to free up more space for Smith, give him the edge he needed to outrun number 12 for Beavercreek, Brent Couch, to the end zone.
That's why that linebacker coach preaches over and over and over again, stay home, stay home, stay home if you're on the backside. But you know what? They're high school football players. See the ball, get the ball. It's hard to do, but you got to stay home with the RPO.
And make sure you have blockers downfield like Miamisburg did with Tegan Williams.
You know, man, I want to talk about the RPO. You know, one of the things, the basic concept of football is this. The defense has 11 guys. The offense has 11 guys, but one guy's carrying the ball, and the quarterback. In the old days, the quarterback just handed the ball off, so it was 11 against 9. I'm going to talk about it more after this play.
This kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte, taken at about the 9-yard line by Riley Rasmussen, who broke one tackle and gets out to about the 28-yard line. So promising field position for Beavercreek. They've had chances in this first half, even if they only have the one touchdown to show for it.
Man, I'm talking about the 11 against 9. Remember, one guy's carrying the ball and the quarterback. You have to, as an offensive coach, you have to make the defense account for the quarterback. In the old days, you accounted for him by making him bootlegs or carrying out fakes. Now here's how you account for him. You call RPOs, to where after he fakes a handoff, he looks down the backside field, and he throws the RPO pass. That's how you make the quarterback the 10th player and not play 11 against 9.
Well, coming up at halftime, brought to you by Wright and Schulte, we'll have several interviews. Tage Joshi will be speaking with school administrators. We'll also present the Scholar Athletes of the Week and also give you some keys potentially for the second half. That's coming up on the halftime show presented by Wright and Schulte in just under 2 minutes, as Quentin Youngblood with the carry for a gain of roughly 4 yards, 2nd and 6. And Beavercreek again going with that quick tempo. Youngblood again able to break several tackles, get close to a first down, and one official saying no need to measure. And it is a first down presented by All Seal Home Improvement. So the Beavers, a key drive here. Is it enough, you think, Coach, to get in field goal range, or do you think they need 6?
Yeah, I think they're going to go for a touchdown here. But you know what? Let's take the points. If you can get a field goal, they got a real good field goal kicker. He's got 3 or 4 kicks over 40 yards good all the way to this season. So let's go down there and get a field goal. Minute 10.
And it should also be noted it's not Spencer Johnson now in the backfield. It's Youngblood getting the carry and only enough for a small gain. But now under center for Beavercreek is Jack Minnick, a freshman.
We got flags
and we have
a
flag on the play.
Boy, his helmet came off again. Fix that helmet.
Third time that's happened.
Face mask. Well, that's why it came off. Now we know why it came off.
So that will help Beavercreek's cause as the first down.
Oh, no. If the defense pulls it off, you don't have to come out. So that's part of the rule.
There it is.
A.J. Sally, the big UCD commit. Yeah, you know what? He's getting blamed for it. I think it might have been a loose helmet caused it more than anything.
Well, the result of the spot moves the ball to the Miamisburg 45-yard line. So Beavercreek is past midfield again as Marcus Colvin trying to rally his team, bring the deficit to 14 points, if not 13 if they choose to go for 2. But they take a timeout with 56 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Matt, we're looking at Marcus Colvin there with the headset on. I want to talk about Marcus. Played the high school ball up in Columbus, a great player at UD, says he's so dedicated to Coach Mike Kelly. Coach Mike Kelly sends him a text if he does something good or he has a baby, he gets a text from Coach Mike Kelly, but he's the guy. You know what? When Beavercreek went out, Marcus Colvin has turned down probably 8 or 10 jobs in this area. He wanted to stay at CJ, and Beavercreek just said, we're going to make an offer so strong that you can't turn it down, and he couldn't. I mean, a great teaching position, a great situation, all that. But here's the most important thing. They did not recruit a football coach. They recruited Marcus Colvin, the man. This is a guy that every school district would want to hire, want to have as their head football coach, want all the young people in the school to be around, not just the football players. Marcus Colvin, they recruited a man, not just a football coach.
On first down, Johnson back in at quarterback after sitting out a play, able to manage roughly a 2-yard gain as the clock is now under 50 seconds until halftime. Beavercreek with 2 timeouts left. So the Beavers on the move, trying to find the end zone and taking a lot of time on this play, and quickly finding himself under pressure as the man with the ball, able to manage a gain. It is Johnson on the short keeper, and now no choice for Colvin. He has to call a timeout with 19 seconds left. Johnson looking left originally. Youngblood able to hold off Aiden Dyer, who was in pursuit, to give Johnson time to scramble and get a gain, but it will still be 3rd and 6 from the Viking 41-yard line. So if you're just joining us, Miamisburg jumped out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter. Second quarter, Beavercreek had a drive that started late in the first, continued over into the second, and ended with a C.J. Crawford 2-yard touchdown run. Miamisburg has quickly answered with 2 more touchdowns of their own. A Preston Barr pass to Jackson McGowan, and Brock Vaughn with his second touchdown pass of the night to Connor Smith. McGowan with 3 touchdown catches for the Vikings tonight.
Let's see if Coach Colvin is going to put it up deep. Actually, Coach Freed, the offensive coordinator. Is he going to go deep ball? I think he almost got to put it up here. You only got 18 seconds. Take a couple deep shots here.
Beavercreek has not really gone deep at all tonight. And the few times Miamisburg have, they have turned out to be positive gains for them. But here's 3rd down and 6 from the 41. Johnson with Youngblood on his right hip, now in motion to the left of Johnson.
Oh, rocket.
Short pass
nice
complete.
Call.
And a huge
Oh, my
gain.
goodness.
Inside the red zone, a key first down pickup by Owen Randley. That's a first down for Beavercreek, presented by All Seal, and it also takes them into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for after the game, online or pickup. Owen Randley with the great read, and he had a couple of blockers to help his cause. So Beavercreek now in great position to have a couple of chances, not just one. They will have multiple plays, barring a sack, to get into the end zone for a second touchdown.
That play's called Rocket or Jailbreak. It's a stable of everybody's offense. Your inside receiver and the offensive tackle block out. There's head coach Marcus Colvin of the Beavercreek Beavers. They did everything to bring him in, and it's paying dividends. They recruited the man, not the football coach. But on Rocket, the inside receiver and the offensive tackle block out. The wide receiver comes underneath him. You go up the field. But what they set it up was the quarterback looked left first to get that backside linebacker flowing, and then they threw the ball right in the hole that he was left there.
We talk about Beavercreek trying to get Colvin the man and the positive culture that he's brought to Beavercreek. I spoke with one defender, Gabe Lindsay, last week. He said, last night, Lindsay said Colvin has helped him rediscover his love for the game of football.
Trips left, got one-on-one to the right side there.
So
there it is.
There's
the
one-on-one matchup. Johnson throwing to his right.
Oh.
In and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That was number 2, Owen Randley. No flag on the play, so second down.
Miamisburg coach Eric Big Play Gillespie, they play what's called match 4, cover 4 match in the backfield. Now, what's a cover 4 match? The corners play man-to-man. The safeties and the linebackers play zone. So the safeties read what's called number 2, and I'll talk about reading number 2 at some other point. Here they are in cover 4 match, and I'll talk about that more later.
Justin Davis was on the coverage for that last play.
There's the
Johnson
same play.
Again going to his right for Randley, and that pass beyond everyone, but a flag comes out on the play, so it will be a first down, but there are only 4 seconds left.
Remember, this is not pro where you get it from the spot of foul. This is high school where you go half the distance. I think Coach Colvin's going to take 3 here. I don't know. He's down 21. Let's gamble, Coach. Let's gamble. You've tried twice. Same play. You feel good about that matchup you got over there against Eric Gillespie's cover 4 match. You know you got man-to-man. No, they're going to field goal. Take the points and the half on a positive note. Yep, there it is. Got that right hand up.
With 4 seconds left, it is a very risky call. It will be a 22-yard field goal attempt from Sean Morse off the right hash. Spencer Johnson, the quarterback, to hold.
He's got lots of leg. Lots of leg.
From 22 yards to get Beavercreek into double digits. And the kick is on the way. It is good. And Beavercreek gets to within 28-10. And there will be a kickoff upcoming. So second.
There's Coach Colvin. Remember, I told you we could do it, guys. He's saying, I told you, we just got to be consistent.
In hindsight, should they have gone for it there, Coach, or were they all right taking the field goal?
Take the field goal, build on the confidence, get better every week. You're rebuilding the program. You're going things in the positive mode. Just keep it rolling. Positive, positive. You're going to the locker room and say, look what we've done good the first half. You know what they didn't do the first half? Stop McGowan. Well, guess what? A whole lot of people haven't stopped McGowan. He's positive. He's talking to him. There's James Perry right next to him. James Perry's the assistant coach. He's been coaching for over 50 years. You see him right to coaches left there. He coaches special teams. He's a spirit guy. Went to Central State. Great track coach. Coached at Camden McKinley for a while. There's Coach Perry. Oh, he is a legend. I love him. He goes to practice. He's got an iPad. He walks around coaching the kickers and the special teams. There he is. Coach Colvin, CJ. Coach brought him out to Beavercreek with him. The kids love him. Over 50 years of coaching. He's the only guy in the stadium older than me. Good job, Coach Perry. We love you.
So there will be a kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte. That will be the final play of the first half as Sean Morse is ready to send it deep. Two men back is Smith and Stickle, and they go for an onside kick. It's recovered by Miamisburg. So that's all that she wrote for the first half. A very entertaining first half as Beavercreek with a field goal to stay within distance. But Miamisburg, thanks to 3 touchdown catches, courtesy of Jackson McGowan, the Vikings with a 28-10 lead, and they are 24 minutes away from their first win, or their second home win of the season. It would get them back to 4-4 overall. Again, a huge matchup as far as Region 2 playoff points are concerned. Both teams right now on the outside looking in. And right now, Tej Joshi is with Miamisburg head coach Lance Schneider. Tej?
Coach, a great half for you guys on the offensive side. 28 points is big. How are you guys able to keep that offense rolling all half long?
Well, you just throw it to the guy who's 6'5", and people have trouble covering. So, he just made some plays for us.
He did make a lot of big plays. Talking about Jackson McGowan, of course. Tell me how big of a deal he's been both in the game plan for tonight and the execution tonight.
Well, he's one of them guys that, when in doubt, you can just throw it up to him and he'll make a play for you. And, he's done it 3 or 4 times now. But, our offense is playing really well. It's just, again, with too many penalties, and, apparently they're here to watch the refs throw those tonight. So,
Coach, I'll let you get in the locker room with the guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you guys up in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, Tej. As you said, Jackson McGowan with a big first half, 3 touchdown catches, and Miamisburg leads Beavercreek 28-10 at the half. Halftime show next on Thursday Night Lights.
Miamisburg leads at halftime, 28-10. We are now joined by the Beavercreek band director, Matt Frost. A pleasure to be chatting with you. See your band behind us right now, right about ready to start rolling. Tell me about the group right now. What kind of a band do you guys have here? How big is the band? We see a huge amount of kids out there.
Yeah, we're marching 230 this year, and it's our show is called Nightmare of Horrors. It's based on horror movies. So there's like scenes from The Shining in there, and there's scenes from Halloween, and The Birds is the movement they're about to do here, the old Alfred Hitchcock.
Well, as they're about to do it right now behind us, let's hear a little bit about it. Tell us about this movement they're about to do.
The kids actually literally portray birds at one point. The closing scene is a bird on the field. We use it for competition, and we've been pretty successful so far this season.
One thing we often talk about when we speak to bands and band directors is how much of a community being a part of a band can build. And you guys have a huge band. Tell me about that aspect to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love our community, and our community loves us. And at halftime we compete with hot dogs, and so our fans stay behind and watch us, and then they go get the hot dog, and we love that. So we participate in parades around the community as well. We're getting ready for a parade at the Green in a few months for the Welcome Santa Claus parade, and lots of fun.
It's great to see your school and your band so involved in the community. I also want to make sure we talk about the color guard, because it's not just a marching band. The color guard is a part of what's happening out there right now and a part of what you oversee. Make sure everybody at home knows all about your color guard.
Yeah, our guards are awesome, and this is probably the best season they've ever had. The Guard lasts year-round. They compete this time of year, but they also compete through Winter Guard International all the way through the winter months, all the way through April when they end.
Thank you so much for all of your time today, Matt. We really appreciate it. We'll let you get back to the band out there as they're in the middle of their performance. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course, this game is happening in Miamisburg, and a staple of dining in Miamisburg is the hamburger wagon. I chatted with the folks out there earlier today. High school, they of course have your classic concessions during football games. You can see people lining up for them now, but what I want to tell you about is something that is unique to Miamisburg High School, unique to Miamisburg at large. Over here, let's spin around to the hamburger wagon. This thing is a staple, like I said, not just of the football games, but really downtown Miamisburg. This is a hamburger wagon that serves small sliders that are famous not just here in the Miami Valley, but across the whole country. There have been magazines and TV shows that have done features on this hamburger wagon and their tasty small sliders around the whole country. I was talking to some of the guys who run this truck. They try to come to every Miamisburg High School home game if they can, and I was chatting with some fans just before we started taping this, and they told me they love to eat these things, not just at the home games, but they go to downtown Miamisburg, right on Main Street, and stop by the hamburger wagon as much as you can. You can see the guys behind it running the truck right now are busy cooking up some good sliders for all the hungry fans here, but they told me beforehand they are really happy to serve this community some good sliders, and this is a true staple of dining here at Miamisburg High School. Miamisburg leads 28-10 at halftime. Our halftime presentation continues after this quick commercial break. Miamisburg leads 28-10 at halftime. We are now joined by Steve Aylward, the Miamisburg band director. A pleasure to be chatting with you. How are you doing tonight?
It's great. It's great. Great atmosphere, great production here. It's an awesome night here in Miamisburg.
The Beavercreek band just wrapped up, and your guys, the Miamisburg band's about to take stage here at halftime. Let's hear about your band. How big is the group this year, and what are you guys really all about this year?
We have about 160 members, so we're really proud of that. Grades 8 through 12 from the Miamisburg community, and we obviously support our team here at all the games throughout the season. We also go to competitions throughout the region. We went to a big regional in Columbus a couple weeks ago, came in third at that, which matched the highest regional placement our school had ever achieved. And then we won grand champion at a show last week, and we got a couple more on the horizon.
Yeah, huge congratulations to you and the whole band. That's a lot of accolades in just 1 year. Tell everybody at home about the show we're about to see right now on the field. What are you guys about to perform?
We're playing some original music. It's called A Thirst For. It's like a desert theme. You'll hear some different types of sounds like that. And obviously we can't get the whole props out and everything here for a football game, but they're playing some really great music. Andrew Markworth, who's our composer, wrote some really great stuff for us.
Let's talk a little bit about the kids themselves. We see a lot of them out here. I want to hear maybe any seniors, anyone in particular, who's doing a great job this year.
I mean, I think our entire senior class, when you think about everything these kids have been through with COVID and everything, and just the fact that they stuck it out to this far. We've got a couple of our great soloists have done Sam Mitchell, Brian Bubberman. You'll hear them tonight playing a flugelhorn duet, for example, and are really doing an outstanding job. Flugelhorn duet.
What exactly is that?
It's like a trumpet. It's but it's what Chuck Mangione played. That's what everybody knows.
So we're talking about the halftime show right now. I want to talk a little bit about what goes on during the game itself. Tell me about your band and when the game is going, what kind of music they do to get the crowd pumped up.
Yeah, we play a variety of different stuff. We got some older songs, some classic rock tunes, some newer songs, and then the classic cheers, the fight song, and all the stuff that carries us through the game.
And the last thing I want to make sure we talk about the color guard. We see some of them right here behind us. They, of course, are a very important part of the band. Talk to me about what they exactly are and how they fit in with the whole band group.
Well, I mean, Miamisburg's Winter Guard is world famous. They're a 35-time world finalist, and they're actually a 3-time world champion. And they're really one of the feature groups of our group. Heather Beltran's our director. She does an absolutely incredible job. And they really kind of help support us in everything that we do.
You talked a lot about some of the awesome seniors, a lot about some of the awesome athletes, and a lot about some of the awesome students that we have here. Really appreciate your time, and we'll let you get going as your group is about to take the field.
Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for having me.
Of course, everybody, we are now going to go to our Scholar Athlete presentation.
Throughout the 2022 season, the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group will recognize an exceptional senior student scholar athlete from each participating school. Here are this week's Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Scholar Athletes. From Miamisburg, Gage Murphy. Gage is a member of the Viking football and basketball teams. He was a recipient of the Rex Gardecki Award in basketball. In the classroom, he's a member of the National Honor Society with a 4.3 GPA. Gage volunteers for the city's Miamisburg Parks and Recreation Department and also volunteers as a mentor and coach to young athletes in the Miamisburg community. Gage excels in the classroom and on the football field and basketball court. From Beavercreek, J.R. Costello. J.R. is a 3-year varsity starter for the Beavercreek football team and likely 4-year varsity letter winner in track and field. He's captain of the football team and volunteered to move from tight end to offensive tackle this year to do what's best for the team. J.R. has a 3.5 GPA and has volunteered in the Beavercreek community, and recently he and his family did volunteer work for Four Paws. His coaches describe him as a phenomenal leader who works hard to encourage his teammates in order to improve the program.
Of our halftime presentation after this quick commercial break. Halftime here at Thursday Night Lights. Miamisburg leads 28-10. We are chatting now with the Beavercreek principal and Dale. A pleasure to be chatting with you. Let's just talk about the fall sports season, the fall semester overall at your school. Just not talk about football just in general, but everything. How's it going this semester?
Good evening. We've had a great start to the school year. We've had a great start to our fall sports season. I was standing on the sidelines tonight when I got here. We had that beautiful sunset. So I couldn't help but think, standing in that same spot 2 years ago, at the height of COVID, in an empty stadium where our kids were playing, in front of 1 or 2 family members only. So tonight, to have this atmosphere back and to make that long journey back to normal, I think it's just a lot of gratitude for having Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Lights and a sense of normalcy.
I love that you put the way you put those words, a return to normalcy. And I want to talk about that not just in fall sports, not just in the football field, but in your school, among your student body. Let's hear what's that normalcy look like every day in the school building.
I think that when you went through what we went through over the last 2 years, you take for granted that you have to teach a lot of things that maybe you didn't think you would have to teach. We put a lot of time into how our student section is going to act on a Friday night, and I gave them slides and specific tips. We called them pro tips on how we're going to act in our student section on a Friday night and things like that, because when you have a disruption like that, you take for granted little things that you think they should know, but you really need to teach them a lot.
We've been talking football all night during our broadcast, and of course we'll continue to do that throughout the night, but I want to make sure we shed some light on the other sports this fall season, or anyone in particular you want to make sure we shout out that's having a great season over at Beavercreek?
Well, I think all of our sports programs are great learning experiences for the kids, and our soccer program is always strong, and volleyball, so I think they're all having great seasons.
Absolutely, and one thing I want to talk about just tonight, you've got a lot of fans that make the journey from Beavercreek, not terribly far away, but talk to me what that means about your community.
I just think that we have great following. And throughout all of our football seasons, we have always had large crowds at home games, and they really show a lot of support on every Friday night.
Absolutely a pleasure chatting with you. We are going to wrap things up with the Beavercreek principal. Time now to bring in the Miamisburg principal. We're going to go from principal to principal here. A pleasure chatting with you. We see your wonderful performance by your band happening behind us in the background here. Let's talk about what it means to be principal at a school Miamisburg. Put that into words for yourself.
Miamisburg's a great place to be. We talk a lot about culture at Miamisburg High School, and we want all of our students to feel valued. We want them all to be growing, as well as our staff. And then we talk a lot about being together and how that brings strength within our group.
You say strength when you bring everyone together, and that's certainly true at a football game. We see middle schoolers here, high schoolers here, and a lot of alumni and people who live in Miamisburg. Talk to me what that means on Thursday night like this about bringing the whole community together.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see the community come out. It's a totally new experience for us, and it's been really neat. You can see our excellent band and color guard performing, and great student section tonight, so really good energy and a lot of good engagement here.
I want to make sure, since you are the principal, we talk academics a little bit. We, of course, make a big deal about our scholar athletes that we present awards to here on Thursday Night Lights. Why is academics such an important part of Miamisburg in addition to the athletics?
Yeah, it all works together. I mean, we talk a lot about school engagement, and really those two come together. And academics, obviously, is always going to be number one. But when students are engaged in what they're doing, whether it be a club or an activity or sport, they're going to care more about their academics.
I want to make sure we talk about football. A lot of great action for you guys on the field tonight. Put that into your own words. How do you reflect on having a great game like this?
Oh, it's great. It's fun to watch. It's great to get 28 points in the first half. We'll see if we can hold on and finish it out.
Thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Everyone stick around. We are wrapping up our halftime presentation after this quick commercial break.
I'm attorney Michael Allwright. I'm proud to be a sponsor of Thursday Night Lights again this year. I'm happy to take part in such a great community event. It is an honor to support this sponsorship, bringing families, communities, and people together to celebrate the sportsmanship of all athletes. Let's all celebrate together, and remember, if you've been injured in an accident, make the right choice.
Halftime has been sponsored by Wright and Schulte.
28-10, Miamisburg leads Beavercreek as we get ready for the start of the second half. Right now, Tage is with Beavercreek head coach Marcus Colvin. Tage?
Coach, 28-10 at halftime. How do you guys come out in the second half and try to limit their offense?
We went to the next play. We got a whole new half of football to play. Really good football team. 84 is a big-time problem, and we knew that he's made a lot of plays. We didn't help ourselves with mistakes in the first half, so it's just about us getting better and taking the next step by moving on to the next play and trying to see what we can do.
Tell me some words of encouragement you gave your guys to make sure they get the energy up in the second half.
We should always be confident. We should always believe that we can overcome all the adversity that's put in front of us. We got some adversity we're going to overcome.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. We'll let you get back on the sideline.
Thank you. Thanks, Seth.
Back to you guys up in the broadcast booth.
All right, thank you, Tage. As you heard Marcus Colvin mention, Jackson McGowan, he has been a big problem for the Beavercreek defense. As we'll start from the first half highlights. This was Beavercreek getting the ball on the opening play from scrimmage. Christian Davis making the interception, but he had to leave the game with an injury and will not return. However, it was a lot of Miamisburg establishing momentum on offense in the early going. This play here by Drew Kopsey was a real big catalyst for the Miamisburg offense as their first scoring drive. It would go into a 4th and goal situation, but ultimately Jackson McGowan, that was the first of his 3 touchdown catches in the half. As we take a look at the halftime stats, Miamisburg having success in the passing game significantly. Beavercreek does have the edge in rushing, but Miamisburg leads in total yards, but penalties, that has hurt Miamisburg. Coach Lance Schneider said those small penalties adding up, that's why they are right now 3-4 instead of potentially a better record. But Coach Jim Play says we get set for the second half and we get set for the kickoff from Wright and Schulte. Miamisburg, they've been feeding McGowan, they just need to keep doing that.
You know, Lance, Matt, it doesn't feel like a 28-6 game because of the flow of the game. Beavercreek has moved the ball. Beavercreek has made plays, but the big plays for the Berg have been the difference. Good field position again for Berg.
That kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte. So Miamisburg, their first drive on offense in the first quarter, that ended in an interception by Connor Ristich. But since then, it's been no problem for the Viking offense. They found the end zone every time since. That was number 21, Hunter Durr, on the coverage. As back onto the field come the Viking offense. They've done a good job of mixing their alternate quarterbacks, Brock Vaughn and Preston Barr. They were even on the field for one play where Vaughn handed off to Barr, who connected with Connor Smith for a big gain earlier in the first half. So it's going to be Barr on the field as Miamisburg starts from their own 39-yard line. A handoff to Hunter Durr, who gets by one man, but not by C.J. Crawford, and actually is going to be stopped for no gain, so 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
Coach Lance Snyder's right next to us. 8 penalties for 61 yards in the first half. They open the second half. It appears to be a penalty on Miamisburg. He's banging his head on the wall over here right next to us. Yeah, against Berg.
Todd Bowerman and his crew, they have been fairly busy tonight.
You know, Matt, let me talk about the Snyder family. Oh, 15 yards. This is a big one. 10 yards. You know,
second and very long, nonetheless.
They are the first family of football in the Miami Valley, in my opinion. Grandpa Hank Snyder, he gave me my coaching job first at Stebbins Indians. We had a great team with the Stebbins Indians, only behind Mower back in the day. Hank Snyder, a legend. He's in the Ohio High School Hall of Fame. His son Mike, I already talked about him. Air Snyder. Lance is the head coach now. What a family. They're the first family of Miami Valley football coaches. I'm going to talk about it more.
So on 1st and 20, Preston Barr thought about looking over the middle. Now he's going to take off himself and gain at least 8 yards, if not 9. So had 20 yards to go starting up with that first down play. It will set down second and more manageable than 20.
number 4 cut up a little before the snap. Hey, I want to continue talking about the Snyder thing. Obviously, tremendously close to the Place family. Ever since Hank gave me my first job in Stebbins Indians, Lance's wife, Leslie, she knows more football than half the coaches in the area. We have a tradition. We all go to state championships together, and we sit in the end zone. You ask a football question, Leslie answers it. She knows more football than any of us combined. Leslie Snyder, great football wife.
Second down and 11. The line to gain is the Viking 49-yard line. Barr looking over the middle. Pass is complete, but hit immediately upon contact. That was Connor Smith on the reception, but great coverage on the part of number 12 for Beavercreek, Brent Couch.
That's a tight bunch. You're going to cross out of the tight bunch. Actually ends up being a pick, a legal pick. Look at 19. 19's blocking downfield. Most people, they just run downfield. 19 was blocking downfield.
That was a great block that Tegan Williams, 19, he had on the Connor Smith touchdown late in the first half for Miamisburg. Third down and 4 from the 45. Barr alone in the backfield, rolling to his right. Throwing downfield, low catch, but it is caught by Connor Smith, and that will be enough for a Miamisburg first down, brought to you by Arby's, and it moves the Vikings past midfield.
Tackled by C.J. Crawford, the Division I prospect. He's a tough guy. Watch after the play here. He gets up, he's challenging, he's not quitting. He's going to play the whistle. There he is. Look at him get up, he's ready.
Again, that first down brought to you by Arby's, as Miamisburg will reset at the Beavercreek 42-yard line. So that 1st and 20 situation not coming back to hurt them. Barr on the keeper, forced out to his left at first, but now cutting inside the 40 and close to the 35, the mark of about the 36-yard line. But another flag on the play.
Holding. Oh my God. Lance, I don't mean to laugh. Lance is throwing his headset. He's going crazy next to us.
That is now 10 penalties on Miamisburg, and none, I believe, for Beavercreek.
Yeah, you're correct there. Yeah. Well, let's see. They're going to that tight bunch and run those crossing patterns. There we are. Right next to me is my man, Matt Digby. We're up in the press box. There's the old man.
Lance Schneider in his 4th year with the Vikings after almost 2 decades at Northmont, a very successful career at Northmont. So on 1st and 21, Barr rolling to his right. Quickly found himself under pressure, but still buying some time and able to manage a small gain out of the play before being eventually forced out of bounds. So 2nd and very long still upcoming, as Barr did very well to avoid losing more yardage on the play. But again, because of that penalty, still 2nd and very long for the Vikings.
152, he's not very big. Good arm. He's junior, going to come back next year.
He already has 2 touchdown passes tonight, both of them to Jackson McGowan, and the man who he's alternated quarterback spots with, Brock Vaughn. He has a pair of touchdown passes in the first half. As we are now 10:08 to go in the third quarter. First drive of the second half. Miamisburg won the toss, deferred, so Beavercreek had the ball first. So this is the first drive after halftime. Quick pass over the middle to McGowan.
Look at the way.
Back across midfield, back to the original line of scrimmage. He has the first down inside the 30 and eventually pushed out near the 20-yard line. It is a first down presented by Arby's. But another flag, this time at the Beavercreek 41.
I don't mean to laugh, Matt, but it's getting humorous here. Hey, how about McGowan? What an athlete. Matt, I want to give you a Jim Place opinion on something.
A Jim Place opinion, not just an opinion, Jim Place opinion.
Place. Jason McGowan is doing what all the big-time recruits are doing. Christian Davis is doing. There's the penalty. He's going to graduate in December, and then January 1st, he'll be on the campus of University of Cincinnati. Christian Davis is going to be on the campus of Ball State University. I don't like it at all. I'd love to see the NCAA put in a rule saying, of course you can graduate early. What are the officials talking about here?
Todd Bowerman ruled that...
Coach Easy's got something to say.
Todd Bowerman ruled a result of the play still was a first down.
What's going on here? I'm not real sure.
Some activity going down at
Oh, we got word here. It's a megaphone in the student section has something to do with it. What is Coach E talking about? He's all fired up out there. Big play, Gillespie. Whoop, get that megaphone out of there. Todd Bowerman said, oh, the student, Zach Klein, assistant principal's down there. He's a good one. Zach Klein there's Coach E. Big play, Gillespie. There's Coach Mike Snyder. There's Snyder. Coach E.
Well, it's always a problem when you have something like a megaphone or a whistle. I've been in stands as a fan where fans will blow whistles.
And that's Leslie Snyder. Can we go back to Coach E again, camera guys? And right next to Coach E is Leslie Snyder. She knows more football than people. Half the coach. There she is in the blue shirt and the camera. But there's Coach E. Big play, Gillespie. Coach E. He and Johnny Puckett probably considered the top 2 defensive coordinators in the Miami Valley. Johnny coaching at Centerville. Coach E here. Proud to say both of them played for me. Both of them coached for me. There's Leslie leaning forward. She's yelling at the referee. She knows more football than half the coaches in town. Son Henry is a freshman on the team here. Number 10, hockey. There's Leslie. Oh, she's a true football wife.
So the official ruling, it is 2nd down and 18 with 9:58 to go in the third quarter. Miamisburg with the ball right at midfield. Line to gain is the Beaver 32. Brock Baum back in at quarterback. Tried a swing pass out to Hunter Durr, but it was just beyond the reach of Durr. So now 3rd and very long coming up. We haven't seen Miamisburg in a lot of third down situations in general tonight.
Except for the penalties, Matt. Hey, Matt, I want to finish my concept about players graduating. I realize this, everybody does. I am not in any way, shape, or form criticizing. I'm criticizing the system. You know, this Jason McGowan, he averaged 18 points a year in basketball as a junior. How'd you like to be the basketball coach? Have an all-area player. You're all excited. He says, Coach, I got to do what everybody's doing. I got to go to UC. You just lost 18 points a game. He doesn't go to prom. I don't like it. Back out of the backfield.
On 3rd down, Vaughn flushed out, having to make sure he doesn't cross the line of scrimmage, and his pass beyond the reach of Connor Smith. So, unless I'm wrong, this might be the first punt we've seen today for the Vikings coming up.
It is, Matt. So, let me go on my tirade. No, you can graduate early, but you can't play spring ball. That's their big claim, get in there. It's not in the best interest of young men. They miss prom. Senior year, everything comes together that second semester. McGowan's not going to play basketball. Basketball coach, I feel for you, man. You just lost 18 points a game from a junior. Come on, NCAA, do something about it. It's wrong.
So the Vikings, for the first time tonight, punting. It's Baylor Stickler,
maybe.
Who now thinks about a fake.
No.
Got past the line of scrimmage, but is only able to gain about 6 or 7. Needed 18 on that play, so a hold for the Beaver defense. They not only get the ball, but they will take over with probably better than expected field position. And how will that first drive of the second half end? We'll find out after this break. 28-10, Miamisburg leads on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Holland Field on the campus of Miamisburg High School. Vikings with a 28-10 lead on Beavercreek in this very pivotal Region 2 matchup. Playoff points at stake. Of course, 16 teams make the playoffs in each region. Only 18 teams in Region 2, so only 2 teams are on the outside looking in. But right now, Beavercreek and Miamisburg are those 2 on the outside looking in. But if Miamisburg can hold on to this 18-point lead, that will be a huge help to get them back in the top 16.
Rocket.
Beavercreek's first drive of the second half, a screen pass from Johnson intended for Owen Ranley. Ranley had it for a second but dropped it, so it's incomplete, brings up 2nd down and 10.
A little surprised at that call. I mean, it's a good call, loosen things up. Maybe they saw too many guys in the box, and there was an automatic go out there. But I thought they'd come out and run that power game. They've had success with it. They got good field position. A touchdown here, 28-17. You're right back in the ball game. Let's see if they go to the power game.
Remember, it was 28-7 at one point, but the Beavers able to drive inside the 5-yard line in the final minute of the first half, and Sean Morse kicked a field goal from 22 yards. That is why we have a 28-10 score right now.
They call him Q, Quinton Youngblood. Tough runner. Look at him. He doesn't go down. That's one thing we always told him. Lyman, you get 2, and then the running back's got 2 on his own. Quinton has got 2 on his own all night long.
That was a gain of 3 on the play, so 3rd down and 7. Line to gain is the Miamisburg 46-yard line. It's Youngblood up the right side. Gets close to about midfield and maybe to the Viking 49, but he will still be about 3 yards short as the clock is now under 9 minutes to go.
I think Coach Coleman's going to go for this. You know, you came in here, they're going quick clock. They're going hurry up offense. They're going to go for it, 4th and 4.
They're not taking long at all to make that decision. They're going to go for it with the line to gain, the 46-yard line.
They got a check. Looking over to Coach Corey Freed, signaling the sidelines.
We've had 2 touchdowns combined coming on 4th downs. One for Miamisburg in the first half, one for Beavercreek. Their lone touchdown was on 4th down. This is Youngblood up the middle. He's got the first down, and he's inside the Miamisburg 45-yard line. So Quentin Youngblood, he needed 4. He gains about 6. And the first down brought to you by Arby's.
You just get a feel from this Beavercreek team. It comes from Coach Colvin. They have confidence. They have discipline. They have culture. It's a whole different team. You just get a feel of confidence from this team.
This is Johnson rolling to his right on a QB keeper.
Ooh.
Got maybe a half yard, but it will still be 2nd and long. Multiple Viking defenders in pursuit, among them Baylor Stickle. There is Stickle, who has been everywhere in a good way tonight for Miamisburg. He's been the punter. He had a 50-plus yard kickoff return.
Beavers showing tempo here. Get lined up, try and catch Coach E's defense, but they're not quite ready.
That was what helped the Beavers on their lone touchdown drive as Youngblood broke 1 tackle, got back to the line of scrimmage, and managed a short gain out of it. That's something that, not for the first time, we've seen. A little bit of miscommunication on when Johnson lets go of the ball and Youngblood takes over possession, and that actually was the contributor to a fumble earlier in the first half. Good job by Youngblood to break the tackle of Aiden Dyer before he's eventually stopped for a gain of 1. It is 3rd down and 8. Line to gain the 34-yard line as Johnson forced to run on his own to the right. And he will have the first down inside the 30. A first down brought to you by Arby's. And we have a late flag on the play. So back-to-back 3rd down conversions on this drive alone for the Beavers. And they may or may not have extra yardage tacked onto it.
Matt, we're on this call, personal foul, of course. Hey, Matt, something is missing tonight for Beavers. Number 3.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds, number 1.
Aiden Hernandez, their speed guy, their big play guy. He's not on the field, man. You never know the reason for it. You and I talked to him yesterday. Everything was all set for him to play. Let's just hope he's okay. But that really hurts the Beavercreek offense. They've got a burner. Number 3, Aiden Hernandez, he's not out there.
As on first down for the
Youngblood, man, he's fighting.
Beavers, Youngblood with the carry. It was not just a first down presented by Arby's, but because of the added yardage from the penalty, that puts Beavercreek inside the Donato's delivery zone.
His helmet's off again.
And for the 4th time, Youngblood's going to have to leave the field because his helmet came off.
They need Q in the game.
Donato's a great pickup before or after the game, either online or via pickup or call in to Donato's. So about 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter now. It is 2nd down and 10 for Beavercreek at the Viking 15-yard line.
Matt, let me explain something with the clock going on here. Let me explain something about the defense of Miamisburg. Coach E, big play Gillespie, it's called cover 4 match. I'm going to talk more about it after this play because it affects what plays Beavercreek calls.
So on 2nd down and 10 for the Beavers as they look to trim the deficit even further.
Touchdown.
Johnson throwing over the middle, and that is indeed a touchdown to Owen Randley.
We got a ball game.
The first time we've seen Johnson really throw over the middle. It is complete for a Donato's touchdown, and it is game on at Holland Field.
Well, you can see the confidence in those Beavercreek Beavers. You can see the trust they have in Coach Colvin. They believe. Colvin's Creek.
Oh, a huge swing of events for Beavercreek. First, the defense forcing a turnover on downs. They take over with better than expected field position. And now a 15-yard touchdown pass from Spencer Johnson to Owen Randley. As here's the extra point attempt from Sean Morse. It is good. And we have an 11-point game with 6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Miamisburg leads 28-17. You're watching Thursday Night Lights on MyTV Dayton. Potentially a huge change in momentum as Beavercreek began at one point they were down 28-7 late in the 2nd quarter, but since then they have scored 10 unanswered, and with 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, they are within 11 at 28-17 after a touchdown pass From Spencer Johnson to the man you just saw on your screen, Owen Randley. Sean Morse, who is about to kick off, he added on the extra points. And Beavercreek is now within 11.
He's got the leg. I don't know why the short kicks. Let's see if they're afraid of number 1 back there. If they're afraid of Stickle's going to return it like he did the 50-yarder. But the kicker's definitely got a strong leg. Nope, going to kick away from Stickle.
Brought to you by Ryan Schultz.
They got it. They got it.
And Owen Randley in position. Beavercreek takes over.
That's Coach James Perry, special teams coach.
A perfectly executed onside kick. It got the extra bounce. It traveled the necessary 10 yards. And what a momentum swing in favor of the Beavers. There's the bounce. It was Akio Perry who would have been closest for Miamisburg to make the catch, but instead,
perfect
Owen
kick.
Randley
Look at that
in
bounce.
Perfect position.
Look at that bounce. That is the way you teach an onside kick. Get it to bounce high. You cannot get a better onside kick. Plus, it was an unexpected time. I didn't expect it. Did you expect it, Matt?
I did not.
No. Perfect. There's Coach Colvin. He's fired up. Look at him. He loves his players. Players love him. Yeah, he's in the school plays. He's at everything. He'll be at soccer games, basketball games. He and his family. I'll talk about his family in a bit here. Here we go, though, with Beaver on offense.
Beavers past the 50. Johnson going deep down sideline, and it is just beyond the reach, but a flag. Randley, the intended receiver. It was Justin Davis in coverage, and another first down upcoming for the Beavers.
Matt, we're looking down at the Miamisburg stands here. It is total disbelief. People are grabbing their heads, throwing their hats. Oh, my goodness. It's got to be over 100 yards against Berg and nothing against Beavercreek. That's the way it works. You know, a great coaching philosophy is after you get a big play, you expect the defense to be down a little bit, so go after them big time.
Todd Bowerman
on the defense,
yards,
number 11. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So that will move the ball from the 47 to the 32-yard line for a Beaver first down.
Remember, they're doing that without their big play guy, 80 Hernandez. Don't know where he's at. Maybe we can find somebody from Beavercreek tell us what's going on.
A game-time scratch in favor of T.J. Ellenwood. As Johnson, keeper right at the last second, and he bought some time, bought enough space to potentially get a first down. Yes, it is. Just outside the 20. And Beavercreek with another first down presented by Arby's.
Tempo. They're going right at him. Old man Mo has jumped. Momentum is all on Beavercreek's side.
Johnson, this time it's a handoff to Youngblood. One broken tackle.
Oh, my goodness.
A gain of about 5, and that takes Beavercreek into the Donato's delivery zone for the second time in just a short span of time. Donato's a great pickup, call or pickup after the game.
Remember, everyone from Beavercreek told us they've had this game circled from day one. This was their opportunity to show to Miami Valley they are a new team, and they're showing it to us. Coach, he's going to dial up something here, though.
These halves going like night and day right now as Youngblood breaking one tackle, but not a second. That's going to be a short gain, and it will bring up third down. Is it too much of an exaggeration to say this is potentially the play of the game upcoming, this third down?
Oh, we got somebody down.
Unfortunately, an injury. Hopefully he can get up fairly quickly.
Sally, the big-time recruit. There was a recruiting service that rated 3 of the Miami's players the top 50 in the state.
So 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Miamisburg with a 28-17 lead. Let's take you on a quick recap. And first off, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you have any pictures of tonight's game or want to join in on the discussion online, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Dayton247now and use the hashtag Thursday Night Lights.
Hey, look at the Miamisburg. They're in shock. Absolute shock. Oh, my gosh. We just got a flag out there?
A late flag on the play.
What on earth is that about?
So, to recap, 28-17, Miamisburg had the momentum early. They were up 14-0 after one on a pair of touchdown passes to Jackson McGowan. Beavercreek got on the board with the C.J. Crawford run. And then 2 more touchdown passes on the part of Miamisburg. One to McGowan, one from Brock Vaughn to Connor Smith. Sean Morse kicked a field goal to make it 28-10. Spencer Johnson then opened the third quarter with a touchdown pass to Owen Randley. Beavercreek then recovered the ensuing onside kick, and this is their drive right after that onside kick. And the good news, A.J. Sally, who was tended to He is making his way over to the sideline, and he is walking under his own power, so that is great to see. Right now, a flag while Sally was receiving attention.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Miamisburg bench. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
And that will mean first and goal. So some disagreement from the coach, resulting in the penalty. And all of a sudden, first and goal. Beavercreek can make this a one-score game. Johnson, keeper up the right side to about the 6 for a gain of 2. That will bring up second and goal.
Matt, you can never underestimate the role of momentum in a game.
My goodness,
once
especially
the team
tonight.
gets that mo rolling, it's just hard to stop. The confidence, as I said before, Beavercreek had this game circled all year long. They said, listen, we're going to show the Miami Valley that we are a new team with a new culture. You know, Beavercreek invested big time. They landed the big fish when they got Marcus Colvin. It's going to pay dividends on the field and in the halls of Beavercreek High. 4
weeks ago, we had a wild comeback on the part of Trotwood Madison when they rallied to beat Alter and pick up their first win of the season overall. Beavercreek, if they can keep this going, they might be in line for their first GWAC win of the season. Johnson breaking one tackle, got to about the 5, and he will be stopped there. So third down and goal coming up from the 5 for the Beaver offense.
Official timeout. What's going on? Something about equipment. Uh-oh. Dunaway, the D1 prospect's got to come out of the ball game.
Helmet come off?
Yeah, it looks like a shoulder pad, or a chin strap unbuckled. Sometimes that snap gets all messed up. It's hard to buckle. Trips to the right.
Third down as Johnson rolls to his right. Has a one-man blocker. Johnson now cuts in to about the 1. Flag is on the field, but a touchdown, Beavercreek. Flag pending.
No flag. He's going to wave it off. He thought it was the pass was being thrown to go call it illegal stay downfield. He's waving the flag off. It's a touchdown. What a ball game we got.
Holding on the offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the spot.
The crowd here, they're giving what's called the Bronx cheer. Finally a penalty on Beavercreek.
That is the first penalty of the night on Beavercreek, and it takes away what would have been a Spencer Johnson touchdown run. Instead of 28-23 right now, it's a third and goal from the 15.
Let's see if we can find the holding. Oh, yep. You see it there? Oh, he's got him hooked. Good job, cameraman.
So from the 15, Johnson throwing to his right. It is caught, but only a short gain, if any, for Owen Randley.
Lots of leg on the kicker.
Justin Davis on the tackle.
3 points makes it an 8-point game. I'm looking field goal. Yep. Make it a one possession game.
Morse already 1 for 1.
Two linemen go out there and what's called jailbreak or rocket, when you call it.
Morse already 1 for 1 on field goals tonight. He had a 22-yarder from the right hash kicking into the north end zone. This will be from 36 yards. Same directions, also kicking from the right hash.
He's made 4 over 40 already this year.
Spencer Johnson to hold. Kick on the way. It has the leg.
It's good.
It is good. Beavercreek, 13 unanswered points. As we are now under 3.5 to go in the third quarter. And Morse having a great night. He's made 2 kicks from the right hash, not straight down the field. He had a perfectly executed onside kick just a moment ago that led to this drive, which ended in a field goal. And the Vikings lead. At one point, it was 21 points. It's now down to 8.
What a ball game. Coach Colvin, he's got his players over there. They believe in him. Hey, Matt, there's no good time to talk about something bad, but I got to get this in before the end of the ball game. Bad news in the Miami Valley football coaches. 2 of our great coaches we lost this week. Dave Snyder, brother of Mike Snyder, uncle of Lance Snyder, son of Hank Snyder. We lost him yesterday. Heart attack in the middle of the night. He was at this ball game last week, and we lost David to a heart attack, passed away in his home down in Loveland, Ohio. And the legend, Butch McPherson. if you know Northridge High School, you know Butch. Butch was featured at one time in Sports Illustrated. Came out of the Marine Corps, 24-year-old quarterback at Central State University. We lost Butch this week. He was up with his son, Matt McPherson. Matt is the assistant head coach at Northwestern University, and Butch was so proud of him. I know this is a suspenseful time of the game. My heart, two of those guys are great friends of mine, great friends of anybody of football in Miami Valley. We lost two great ones. Let's go back to the ball game.
This kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte, and now it's a toss-up as to whether Morse is going to go for another onside kick with 3:27. No, it's a squib kick, but it is downfield and taken on a couple of hops, eventually by Stickle at the 9-yard line. Able to find a cut up to the 25.
He's house.
And he's got plenty of room. Two men to beat, and he is stopped by Morse again. He had to be stopped by Morse on a 50-yard kickoff return in the second quarter, and now again in the third. Just what Miamisburg needed to give themselves a chance to open up the score back to a 2-possession lead.
I was just going to say, oh man, Mo, what Miamisburg needs is somebody to turn to Mo. There's got to be one or two guys, Stickle or the big receiver, McGowan. Well, Stickle says, put it on my shoulders, coach. Let me have the ball. I'm going to turn to Mo. The Mo's back on Miamisburg side. I look for him to go to 84 here. I think it's McGowan time. Keep the Mo rolling.
Picked the ball up at the 9-yard line of Miamisburg and turned it into a 55-yard return. So 105 yards on those two returns alone. As this is Drew Kopsey. And one broken tackle, nearly broke free, but as it stands, it will be enough for a Miamisburg first down. They're on the move. And that first down brought to you by Arby's.
Berg's going tempo now. Up tempo, up tempo. Get them back on their heels and keep running.
On first down, it's Kopsey again. Got by one man and eventually taken down inside the 10. Not just a first down, but Miamisburg is now also in the Donato's delivery zone for the first time this half.
Up tempo, up tempo.
On 2nd and 3.
Wow, same play all 3 times.
Kopsey, this time he's taken down. It will be a short loss to about the 9-yard line, so 3rd down and 4 upcoming.
I look for defensive coordinator Caleb Ringer to bring some heat here.
2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. A very eventful third quarter. Beavercreek having outscored Miamisburg 10-0 after trailing 28-10 at halftime.
Kopsey got banged up. Solid 6 foot, 196-pound senior. Big, strong, hard to bring down.
And we're seeing one man enter the game for Miamisburg, number 85, Bryce Vaughn. No, Vaughn now making his way back to the sideline, and now we have another late flag. Second sideline warning of the night on Miamisburg. The 13th or 14th penalty, I believe, on Miamisburg tonight compared to 1 for Beavercreek. And that's something that Lance Schneider talked about. Penalties and little mistakes adding up.
This is not typical of Miamisburg. This is, I think the emotion of the game is getting carried away. Sometimes it just happens, but this is not typical Berg. Usually very, very disciplined.
Well, 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. We are coming up on the 10 o'clock hour. Chance to remind you to join us first on Facebook. If you're at the game or you want to share photos of a watch party you're having, be sure to tag Dayton247 now and use the hashtag Thursday Night Lights. Interact with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Then coming up in about 45 minutes, catch up on the day's news and weather with Adam Arrow, Megan O'Rourke, and Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters coming up on Fox 45 News at 10 and also on ABC 22 coming up at 11 o'clock. There is Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters. She was with us earlier in our early programs at 6 and 6:30. We've had beautiful weather. I've said it multiple times. We have been spoiled with a capital S when it comes to nice weather for these Thursday Night Lights contests. She said it may not be as warm tomorrow, but still at least it will be dry.
That's Coach Mike Snyder with his hands on his hips. Mike is one of the calmest, most laid-back guys you'll ever find. For him to get worked up, you know something's going on down there.
3rd down and 8 with Vaughn at quarterback, rolling to his left.
Big guy.
Trying to throw back across his body, and a wide open Akio Perry for a Miamisburg touchdown. Touchdown brought to you by Donato's, and the game is back to a 2-possession lead for the Vikings.
Hey, a lot of action,
Akio Perry, who is a makeshift offensive back after an injury to Christian Davis. He's seen significant amount of time in the backfield, and he was Johnny on the spot for a pass from Brock Vaughn for a Miamisburg touchdown.
Coaches love Akio Perry. Said he exemplifies everything you want in a football player. Cares about the team, great personality, high character.
Preston Barger would take the extra point. It splits the uprights, and with 2:25 to go in the third quarter, Miamisburg, for the first time in this second half, they find the end zone, and the lead is now 35-20. Another flag pending.
I think it's on Beavercreek. This is just a guess. There's a rule. You're not allowed to touch the long snapper on a punt, on the snap, until his head comes back up. Beavercreek like overloaded the A gap, which is the gap between the guard and the center. Let's see if it's dumping the center.
After the play, personal foul on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty. 15 yards will be added to the kickoff.
Now that could have been dumping the center. Dumping the center is the personal foul call. So 15 yards on the kickoff, so poor field position for... There he is, Akio Perry. Coaches love him, Mr. Everything. Yeah, very personable guy. He'll do whatever it takes for the team.
So here's a recap of that touchdown pass from 15 yards. Vaughn trying to buy as much time as he could. You see him struggling to stay behind the line of scrimmage, but then he finds Perry wide open with no defenders. And that's a 14-yard score to put Miamisburg back up by 2 scores.
Man, one of the golden rules of defensive football, you got to have a front side edge player and a backside edge player. You cannot let the quarterback outside the pocket. Bad things happen when the quarterback gets out there. That's an example. He could have run, he could have passed. Got to keep that edge. There's the offensive tackle, Greg Clark for Miamisburg, made the big play to seal the defensive end. Beavercreek's got 11 men up front looking for an onside kick.
As a result of the penalty, Miamisburg is kicking off from the Beavercreek 45-yard line, and Barr boots the ball into the end zone. So Miamisburg not opting for the onside kick. Beavercreek will take over for a first down from their own 20-yard line. The Beavers have had 2 drives in this third quarter. One resulted in a touchdown pass from Spencer Johnson to Owen Randley. Their second drive, which came right after an onside kick following the touchdown, resulted in a Sean Morris field goal. So they had the momentum big time in this third quarter. But Miamisburg, after watching their, at one point, 21-point deficit lead cut to 8, they have since responded with a drive of their own. Took significant amount of time. Actually only took a little more than a minute off the clock now that I look at it. And Miamisburg back in front by 2 scores, 35-20 on the Brock Vaughn 14-yard touchdown pass to Akio Perry.
I'm not sure what the delay is here. The officials were talking to the Miamisburg coaches. The play clock hasn't even there. The play clock got started.
But Beavercreek was still holding a huddle. The team hadn't come out yet to begin their drive. But Spencer Johnson at quarterback. On his left hip is Quentin Youngblood. And Johnson, who has been very effective rolling out from the pocket, able to pick up about 2 yards on that carry. Still second and long.
Lucas Comer's having a nice ball game over there.
One of the few guys to play both ways for the Beavers, offense and defense. Official gain is 3 yards, so second and 7. One man to motion, TJ Ellenworth. That's the man who was a game-time replacement in the starting lineup in place of Adi Hernandez. As Johnson quickly finds himself under pressure from Dunaway, trying to buy time.
There he
gets
is.
The ball away and finds that open man. TJ Ellenworth for for a Beavercreek first down. That was Connor Pennington on the catch, not Ellen Wood.
Two men downfield. On the offense, number 54.
But a flag on the play.
From the previous spot.
I don't want to hear his name. I don't want to hear his name.
Only the second,
like that.
Only the second penalty on Beavercreek tonight.
Coach Colvin doesn't like it. Hey, speaking of Coach Colvin, how about his wife Amanda, track star at UD, Findlay, Ohio, young lady. 3 children, Isaiah, Jocelyn, and Ava. Wonderful family. Oh my goodness.
So instead of a 1st and 10, it is now 2nd and 12 from the 18-yard line.
That hurt.
Johnson under
nice
pressure
call.
Gets an
nice
outlet
call.
in Youngblood. It's going to have a gain past the 25 and another flag on the play. Flag pending. It was a 7-yard gain to the 26. Back-to-back penalties on the Beavers.
Ooh, I haven't seen this many flags in a long time, Matt. Coach Colvin, That's
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
That's where
Second
Coach
down.
loses sleep. Right? Coach goes home and says, I can't sleep tonight. Amanda will take care of him, though. She'll say, calm down, Marcus. You've been doing this a long time. 18 years as CJ, 11 years as head coach, 8 playoff appearances. Hey, he went to the regional finals twice. Both times lost to the eventual state championship. Trotwood one year, Clinton Massey another year. They loved him at CJ. He loved CJ. But you know what? Sometimes opportunity knocks. It's a family decision. Beavercreek landed the big fish.
So Beavercreek now has 2nd and 18 from their own 12 after back-to-back penalties.
Open, wide open.
Johnson looking deep. And it is picked up by Miamisburg. Nathan Ennis, the linebacker. Miamisburg had lost momentum, and they've got it back in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
You know, one thing, anytime you throw an outcut, it has to be outside and upfield. If you throw it a little bit behind the receiver, you got to pick. That receiver's got to come back. Now, if that's on his upfield shoulder, this doesn't happen. You know, it just happens. Quarterback kind of threw it a little bit.
TJ Ellenwood was the intended receiver, but Baylor Stickle got in front and deflected the ball in the air. You see how Stickle grabbing his helmet. He was upset he potentially missed out on an interception, but Nathan Ennis right on the spot for the turnover. And Miamisburg will take over inside the Donato's delivery zone. This is Barr running to his left. And another flag on the play.
Guess what, Matt? A flag. Matt, while they're sorting this out, let me talk about the halftime show. If you come to a G-Walk...
On the offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Stop calling their numbers. I don't want to hear who gets penalty. When you come to a G-Walk game, you're going to see massive bands. Oh, unbelievable. These are 8 of the biggest schools in the state of Ohio. Bands, fans, cheerleaders, big stadiums, big crowds. G-Walk football, I really believe it's one of the top 3 leagues in the state of Ohio right now. You got 2 teams ranked in the top 5 in Division I. G-Walk football is just awesome football. What a show the 2 bands put on at halftime. Beavercreek and Miamisburg band. They are good.
So it is 1st and 21 as a result of the penalty from the 30. Barr under pressure, puts up a deep ball. Intended for Tegan Williams, but it falls incomplete. Jackson McGowan was a little bit behind the ball. It will bring up 2nd down and 21. Well, we had a very entertaining contest in week 1 of Thursday Night Lights featuring a G-Walk team as Wayne made the trip down south to Fairfield. Fairfield ultimately winning that contest.
Keep an eye on both those teams in the playoffs. They're both going to make some noise. Coach Moeller and Lakota West ranked 1-2 in the state. Springfield ranked number 3. Very strong. Centerville still ranked number 5. G-Walk teams.
In the meantime, a pivotal contest for both teams if they want to make.
There it is. There he is. There's the big guy. They're going to put it up to him. The big guy.
To his right, intended for McGowan and just beyond his reach. And another flag on the play again.
Uh-oh. We got a hurt player too.
So under 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. They're not picking up the flag, it looks like. The flag will depend on the result of the Beavercreek player being tended to if they're able to get him up quickly. That's one thing, thankfully, we haven't seen a lot of players being down for an extended period of time. But 35-20 is the score. Miamisburg with the lead right now, and it gives us a chance to talk about our upcoming schedule. Only 2 weeks left of Thursday Night Lights. Week 9, we are headed back to the MVL. We had a great matchup a couple weeks ago between Stebbins and Butler, and next week we are back in the MVL as Xenia looks to keep their unbeaten record going, of course, pending their game tomorrow against Stebbins. But the Buccaneers will be home at Doug Adams Stadium when they host West Carrollton. You can catch that game on MyTV Dayton October 13th at 7 p.m. That's channel 22.3 over the air, channel 24 on Spectrum. We'll also be streaming live on Facebook, Dayton 24/7 Now, and on our website, Dayton247now.com. That is West Carrollton at Xenia coming up in Week 9 of Thursday Night Lights. And then Week 10, our season finale, we will be at Welcome Stadium for a Dayton Public Schools matchup as Meadowdale takes on Ponitz.
Hey, you mentioned those Xenia Buccaneers, number 5 in the state. Mo Hardin has to be Ohio Coach of the Year. Come from a program that, gradually going along, but number 5 in the state of Ohio, Mo Hardin, runaway candidate, Ohio Coach of the Year.
And they've had some impressive results, too. They kept Piqua scoreless after Piqua
Tip City
had yet to give up a point themselves, going 3 or 4 games without giving up a point, and then Piqua kept scoreless at Xenia, and then Xenia a couple weeks ago, that was a very entertaining game against Tippecanoe. They got out to a big lead, then Tip came back with a big rally, only for Xenia to score in the final minute and get the home win on their homecoming.
Coach Mo Hardin, all about character. He instills it, he exemplifies it. Oh, boy. They're kind of being helped off the field.
The player in question, thankfully, is on his feet. He is being helped, though, very slowly to the sideline.
Very gingerly. It's like something in the leg, but who knows? Hey, how about the Miami offensive line? They are really playing tonight. Greg Clark, 6'2", 217, a junior. Sam Kilholt, 6 foot, 257, sophomore. Abel Nogue, 6'1", 282, a junior. Parker Hoskins, 71. He's a captain, 6 foot, 249. Grew up next to me in Southern Hills. Mom and Dad are proud of him.
On the offense, number 71. That penalty will be declined.
Okay.
Third down.
And 56.
There was a flag on the play after that incompletion. So here you see Barr rolling to his right.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he got him.
Barr had a little bit of extra time. The throw was just beyond the reach of McGowan. But it was incomplete. That's why Beavercreek declined the penalty. So it's 3rd down and 21 from the 30.
As a coach, you go, what are you thinking? And he says, I'm 17. I'm not thinking about much of anything. Correctable mistakes. I forgot to mention 56, Tyler Pennington, the right tackle. His dad's one of the coaches, Chris Pennington. Highly regarded coach here in the Miami Valley.
On 3rd down and 21. Barr
there we go, the big
middle.
guy.
It's complete
He's
to
going to run over
McGowan.
somebody.
He's inside the 20. So he got back to the original line of scrimmage, but he will be short of the first down marker by about 5 yards. They needed 21. They got 16.
Runs like a back, blocks him as big as a lineman. You see, they got a good one. Look at him. Put that ball away, though. Put it away.
He was running towards the left sideline and
great kid.
In the right hand, though.
Kid, young man. Stop calling him a kid, Coach Rice.
4th down and 5. Miamisburg went for it on a 4th down back in the first quarter, and that resulted in a touchdown play. It looks like they're going to go for it here.
We got one-on-one out here with McGowan. What do you think?
Barr looking to his right. And McGowan, the man intended. Did he handle it with one hand? I think he did. It's a touchdown, flag pending. But if the touchdown stands, what a play it would be, and that would be touchdown catch number 4 on the night for McGowan.
Interference on the defense, number 2. That penalty will be declined. Touchdown is good.
So the 4th touchdown catch of the night for Jackson McGowan, number 84. That touchdown brought to you by Donato's. And Miamisburg is now back to a 3-score lead after having a 21-point lead cut to 8.
You know, he's a solid UC commit, but anybody gets this film, all of a sudden that phone's going to ring off the hook.
Point after by Preston Barr is good. So Miamisburg is 2 for 2 on touchdowns when they go for it on 4th down in the red zone. It is a 42-20 ball game for Barr. That is his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. Barr and Vaughn have 3 passes each for scores.
One hand.
And that is a one-handed catch. That was a great play by McGowan.
Nice job. Put it outside upfield where only McGowan can catch it.
That may be a contender for play of the week. If you missed Sports Extra this past Sunday on Dayton 24/7 Now, I started a series of top plays from high school football for the week. Last week it was the Malachi Stevenson touchdown catch for 69 yards on 2nd and 39 as Preble Shawnee got the home win on their homecoming back in week 7 against Tri-County North. And this one-handed catch by McGowan may very well be a strong contender for play of the week coming up this Sunday on Sports Extra. Kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte. As this is Riley Rasmussen. Out past the 25-yard line. So Beavercreek, they had cut the deficit to 8 points, but after 36 minutes, they find themselves in a 22-point hole. Miamisburg 42-20. You're watching Thursday Night Lights on MyTV Dayton. Welcome back to Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by your Cincinnati area Toyota dealers. We're ready for the start of the 4th quarter, and Beavercreek ready for the start of what you could call a must-score-a-touchdown drive as they trail Miamisburg 42-20.
How about that for an action-packed quarter, Matt?
They start from their own 28-yard line as Spencer Johnson looking deep on the first play of the drive, intended for Ranley, just beyond the reach. Justin Davis in coverage, and it will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Boy, they miss Hernandez. Hernandez is their deep ball guy, one of the fastest athletes in the area. I don't really know why he's not playing. Let's just hope he's okay. Seemed fine in practice Tuesday, but something must have had some kind of, I speculated an injury of some type. Let's just hope he's fine. Great kid. Oh, great kid. Great young man.
And Beavercreek down 28-7 at one point in the 2nd quarter. They kicked a field goal to trim the deficit to 28-10 as Youngblood gets a short gain.
Oh, the helmet again. Hugh.
I believe he took it off on his own after the play.
Okay.
That's what it looked like from our camera angle, or maybe it did come off during the course of the play. But that is the 4th or 5th time Youngblood's helmet has come off.
Hope it fits okay. Might just be a loose chin strap. Sometimes that's what it takes.
Here's a look at the TNL Champions Trophy presented by Rand Associates. It will go to the winning team after tonight's contest in about 11 and a half minutes. Home teams have had the majority of celebrations with this trophy throughout the 2022 TNL slate. Right now, Miamisburg a little over 11 minutes away from claiming it. Johnson's pass complete to Owen Ranley. That is good for a Beavercreek 1st down. Brought to you by All Seal Home Improvement.
Owen's a big target, 6', 290-pound junior. Nice target. Put those hands up and exposed his body. Still brought it in. Nice job, Owen.
Beavercreek, they did get the deficit to 8 points at 28-20, but then Miamisburg answered with 2 straight touchdowns of their own to get the lead back to 3 scores.
You know, I want to talk about this match defense, the coach cover 4 match defense it's called. Everyone in football knows you count receivers from the outside in. 1, 2, 3 from the outside in. The corners cover 1 man-to-man. After this play, I'm going to talk about what the safeties do.
On 2nd and 7 from the 42. Youngblood back in the game on the left hip of Johnson. Johnson under pressure from his own 35. Will take off and manage a small gain of his own to about the 45-yard line, so it will bring up 3rd and short, 3rd and 4.
They're going tempo. So let's talk about what the safeties do in cover 4 match. They read 2, so the 2nd man in. If 2 goes vertical, they run with him. If 2 goes horizontal, meaning across the field, they play zone. I'm going to talk about why Heidi Fernandez would have been so important against cover 4 match.
On 3rd and 4, Johnson with the keeper up the middle. He has enough for a first down, out past midfield. And another flag on the play upcoming. Depending on the flag, it's a gain for Johnson out to the Miamisburg 46-yard line.
Holding.
It's going to be 3rd and long coming up.
On the offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Matt, to finish my thought, here's why Hernandez was so important. How do you beat cover 4 match? You bring the backside receiver all the way across the field into the zone that would be vacated by a safety playing underneath coverage. Hernandez isn't here. They don't have their speed guy. It has really hurt the Beavercreek offense.
And because of the penalty, they're now facing a 3rd and 11 from the 38. A screen. Youngblood made contact with it, but then the ball was knocked loose on the hit, so it's incomplete. 4th down upcoming for the Beavers with 9:47 to go regulation time. You're down 3 scores. Do you go for it just because, or do you take the punt?
I think you punt. You know, you want to keep the momentum going. Well, they're going to go for it. I think you punt and hope for a turnover or hope for something good to happen.
Beavercreek started the second half very brightly, but then 2 Miamisburg touchdowns, including a great one-handed catch on the effort of Jackson McGowan in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter to restore Miamisburg's 3-possession lead.
Gotta love Coach Colvin coming in here.
But they go for it on 4th and 11. And Johnson going to be sacked by Akio Perry, and Miamisburg will take over on downs with great field position. Akio Perry, who has a touchdown reception from the 3rd quarter, now with a sack to force a turnover on downs.
Coach Colvin gambled. He said, we're going to lose, going for everything, and let it all hang out. We got nothing to lose. We weren't expected to win this ball game. Berg's got a good team. Remember, 3 plays away from being in GWAC title contention. Last play of the game against Fairmont, 4th and 10, and Fairmont makes a touchdown to win the ball game 10-7. Yeah, Perry, he's all over both sides of the ball.
And not just being in GWAC contention, but also safely inside that top 16 bubble. Right now they're 17th, probably poised to move up on the status of tonight's game. But Miamisburg takes over. A handoff on the first play of this drive to Connor Smith. And he eventually stepped out of bounds. He was running for real estate. And another flag on the play.
Good block in the back. On the offense, number 19. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Hey, we're in Miamisburg. I think of 2 pros there's Coach Mike Snyder. Air Snyder, he revolutionized football here. Hey, Mike, though, my good. I mean, I can't put enough goods on the word friend. Sorry for the loss of your brother Dave yesterday. Dave was a good one. Head coach of Stebbins. First family of Miami Valley coaching football to Snyder's. Sorry, Mike, about your loss. Good guy, David Snyder. And oh my gosh, Butch McPherson. That just breaks my heart. I love Butch. Coached for me down at CJ. Long-time coach at Northridge. Everybody loves Butch.
Result of the penalty, it's 1st down at 19. Brock Vaughn in at quarterback. A swing pass out to Connor Smith. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and this will turn into a big gain, setting up 2nd and about 4 inside the 30.
Also, I was talking about pros. Miamisburg High School. How about Josh Meyer, Ohio State Buckeye, started as center for the Green Bay Packers. But don't forget David Burden. David Burden, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, went on to play for the Broncos in Washington. Had a long pro career. They got a good tradition here in Miamisburg.
Clock now under 8:40 coming up when this ball will next be snapped. 2nd and 4 from the 29. Line to gain the Beavercreek 25. McGowan in motion, and McGowan will take a handoff. Bet in the backfield. He's going to be taken down for a loss on the play. What a read for Beavercreek, number 48. That was Wyatt Perk, who was not fooled by McGowan going in motion. And that will bring up 3rd and about 10.5 on the play.
You know what's great about high school? Someday Wyatt's going to see Jason McGowan playing big-time football at UC, a big bowl game. He says, hey, I blew that guy up in the backfield one time. You can watch it 2 or 3 years from now in your college dorm. Look at that. I just blew up a Division I big-time guy.
3rd and 11 from the 36. Vaughn patiently with time in the pocket, trying to buy himself time. Throws to an outlet and Hunter Durr, who came out from the backfield to make that catch, and it's good for a first down presented by All Seal Home Improvement. And that also moves Miamisburg into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for after the game. Order online or call in for pickup.
And that quarterback gets outside. Nothing but trouble for the defense.
So when it looked like Beavercreek may have gotten some momentum, forcing Miamisburg into a 3rd and long situation, the Vikings respond with a 19-yard pass from Vaughn to Hunter Durr out of the backfield. And on the snap, it went off Jackson McGowan. He does well to recover the play and prevent a turnover, but it's going to be a loss of yardage on the play. Some miscommunication there on the snap because it went while McGowan was in motion, deflected off his body. It bounced favorably for him that he was able to recover the ball, pick up the ball, and prevent the turnover, but still it will bring up 2nd and long for the Vikings.
Timing mistake there. McGowan was not supposed to get that ball. He was going to get it on a jet sweep, but the timing was off with the center. What Beavercreek is fighting. They're fighting hard.
They've made plays today.
Oh, they were down 1 touchdown, had the momentum. Things were looking Beaver way. Too many big plays for the Bird, though.
Vaughn with a handoff to Durr. Got a hole as he gets to the 15 and will cut inside the 10. Could have enough for a first down. If not, it will be 3rd and short. Yes, it will be 3rd and short. Clock now under 6:15 to go in regulation.
Big Abel No, the 6'1", 282 junior center, had a big block on that play.
And Durr's a sophomore. We'll see him again next year for the Vikings.
A lot of underclassmen on both these teams. A lot of upperclassmen. The problem is, how do you move up in the G-Walk? All those teams are so loaded. How do you move up?
On 3rd down, handoff to Drew Copsey. He looks to have enough for a first down. He only needed 1 before he was stopped by Nick Oxner, but it is enough for a 1st and goal coming up inside 6 minutes to go in regulation.
Holding. Offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Another flag on the play, and as Coach Lance Schneider says, too many penalties that have hurt them. That's one reason why they only have 1 win so far in GWOC play.
Yeah, he got him. He got him. I mean, you tend to see the official stop calling it, stop calling. But what are you going to do? I mean, I saw it. The offensive lineman tackled the guy. You got to call it.
So instead of a first down run for Copsey, it's going to be 3rd and 12 back at the 19-yard line. Line to gain is the Beavercreek 7. Vaughn has been QB this entire drive.
Big guy.
Looking to his left.
Nope. Just dropped it off.
Completed the pass to Tegan Williams, who has not been involved as much receiving the ball, but he's been very important on downfield blocks. It's a short gain inside the 15, but it will still mean 4th and about 7.
What do you think? McGowan? Remember Tegan Williams, 6'5", 205-pound senior tight end. Look for him, too, 19. They got big receivers.
Williams had a key block that sprung Connor Smith late in the first half to score a touchdown for Miamisburg.
Oh, McGowan, one out. Well, they got safety help. Get over there, safety.
4th down with the line to gain to 7. Pass is complete to Connor Smith, and he may have enough. Yes, he does have enough for the first down. They only needed 7 to move the chains, and they get 7. That's an all-seal improvement first down. It comes with 4:40 to play in the game.
Outcut.
Smith making
Run
sure
to 12, break it back to 10, get a yard beyond where the chain is.
Making sure to get his feet down on that reception, because there was one play where it was a catch, but receiver ruled landed out of bounds as Vaughn on the QB keeper gets inside the 5. Will set up 2nd and goal from about the 2.5-yard line.
So McGowan blocking there. He's going to be what's called a hybrid player at UC, which means this. He'll play some tight end. He'll play some H-back. He'll play some wide receiver. He's a guy they're going to move all over the field. I asked him, I said, where are you going to play, JC? He said, I'm going to be the hybrid guy. Looking forward to watching him on TV in a few years down there at UC. Coach Luke Fickell, what a job he's doing.
We'll certainly have a chance to make an impact for Luke Fickell.
We got a fade here to McGowan. Nope, run the ball.
On second down, handoff to Hunter Durr, running up the left side, and he is met by C.J. Crawford for no gain on the play. Also on the coverage for Beavercreek was number 15, Michael Sigafus. So instead of a touchdown, it's third down.
A lot of juniors, a lot of underclassmen, both these teams.
Inside 3:40 to play. As Miamisburg about 3.5 minutes from claiming that TNL trophy, continuing the impressive streak of home teams winning on Thursday Night Lights in 2022. Third down and goal. Handoff to Copsey, and have plenty of big open hole for Copsey to walk in for a touchdown, his first of the night. Touchdown brought to you by Donato's. And we have a flag on the play. After the play.
Yeah, it's unsportsmanlike kind of on the Berg. Had an offensive lineman screaming at a Beavercreek player.
But it is now a 28-point lead with the extra point pending.
Got to call it. You know, I'm sick of these flags, but you got to call it.
Conduct.
Yeah, I saw
on
it.
The offense, number 61. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Touchdown is good.
Got to call it.
So Miamisburg, because of a penalty on Beavercreek, they kicked off from the Beavercreek 45 not that long ago, late in the third quarter. Now they'll be kicking, giving Beavercreek a little bit more room to operate with. So Drew Copsey with a 2-yard touchdown run. It comes with 3:14 to go in the game. Extra point by Preston Barr is good, and it is now a 49-20 lead for the Vikings. They are on their way to 4-4 and potentially back in the top 16 of Region 2. Timeout from Holland Field. Beavercreek was down 21 at one point in the second quarter. They then scored 13 unanswered to close the deficit to 28-20 late in the third quarter. But since then, 3 touchdowns for the Miamisburg Vikings. It is a 49-20 ball game with 3:14 to go in the contest. And the Vikings officially 3:14 from moving to 4-4 and potentially back into the top 16 of Region 2. Glad you could join us for Thursday Night Lights. Matt Digby, Jim Place, Tej Joshi. Tej Joshi will shortly be presenting the TNL trophy sponsored by Rand Associates to the Miamisburg Vikings, but Beavercreek about to receive this kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte.
You know, Matt, people are going to see this score tomorrow, 49-20, 1 point away from a running clock, and go say it was a stomping. It was not a stomping. Miamisburg's got a heck of a good football team. Three plays away from being in title contention in the mighty G-Walk. The boy Beavercreek has battled them nose to nose, toes to toes all night long.
The kickoff taken by Nick Oxner, and Beavercreek will have the ball coming up after this break. You're watching Thursday Night Lights on MyTV Dayton. 3:09 to go in regulation as Miamisburg just over 3 minutes away from moving to 4-4 on the season, as we mentioned, and potentially getting back into the top 16 after this upcoming, it looks like, win against Beavercreek. They lead 49-20. But Beavercreek with the ball as Spencer Johnson on their first drive. He's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage for a sack. Multiple defenders on that play for the Vikings, especially number 87, Marshawn Gregory Bay. First time we've called his name tonight, and he makes a big play for the Viking defense.
Vikings got number 2 defense in. That's a young man. He's number 2. He says, give him my chance. He came out with a little Superman cheer after this. Look how fired up he is. All the sidelines going crazy for him. They're all fired up. Hey, you know what? A couple of those Miamisburg coaches, every year coaches at high schools around the town are looking for head coaches. They got 3 of the assistants at the top of every coach's list. After this play, I'm going to talk about those 3 guys. Miamisburg assistant coaches, everybody's got on their list of future head coaches. Lance is done.
Loss of 3 on the play, as right now referee Tom Bowerman discussing with Miamisburg head coach Lance Schneider, who has made his way down to the sideline. He has been spending the game with the majority of the game coaching up in the press box right next to us, but he has now made his way down to the field for the final 2 minutes and 50-plus seconds. There is Lance in the hat, not wearing the glasses. Handoff to Riley Rasmussen, his first carry of the night after only seeing time on kickoff and punt returns. And Rasmussen, with a positive gain, takes the ball past midfield for a gain of about 5, so third down and about 8.
So who are those Miamisburg coaches? How about Gabe Brown? He's their running back coach. Twice a year he comes over to the house, my house. He says, Coach Place, I want to learn from all the veteran coaches. My wife Joni makes some cookies and milk for him. He's going to be a good head coach. Gabe Brown. Another one I'm going to talk about, Matt Benning, after this play.
Third down and 8 for the Beavers. Line to gain is the Miamisburg 41. And Spencer Johnson on the QB keeper. Past the 45. He may have the first down. He does have the first down. Out to the 40-yard line. That's a first down pickup for the Beavers. Presented by All Steel Home Improvement. On the tackle for the Vikings was number 7, Caleb Murphy, the junior.
Hey, this number 2 defense for Miamisburg looks athletic. They got some young athletic players.
And a quick tempo as Johnson on the keeper again. This is going to be a gain of more than 5. It's going to bring up second and short as Johnson takes the ball to about the 33-yard line.
Hey, another one of those Miamisburg coaches, Marcus Omasoli. He played here with Josh Myers, when he's a Miamisburg guy. He's on everybody's list as a potential head coach.
Coming up on the final 90 seconds as Riley Rasmussen out to the left side has enough for another first down presented by All Steel Home Improvement. So Beavercreek still making plays even though time is quickly running out. Beavercreek still making plays.
Last guy's Matt Benning. You know, I sound like a broken record talking about my former players. Matt played for me at CJ. He's a veteran defensive line coach. A lot of people looking at him as a head coach. Matt Benning, D-line guy, fire-up guy. So proud. I'm proud of my guys. I know it's a broken record. Oh, flag, of course.
Rasmussen from the 25 met for no gain and a flag on the play right as he was hit. And it looks like it could be going on the Beavers.
Yeah, this one. There we go.
On the offense, number 7.
Again.
10-yard penalty. Second down.
So Beavercreek now 2-6.
Lance,
they will move to 2-6 on the season. Miamisburg will improve to 4-4 and get back into that conversation of sneaking into the Region 2 playoffs. But Beavercreek, there is reason to be optimistic with Marcus Colvin in his first year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. They got the man. Marcus, tough night. He's in the ball game. Looked like this could have been their big night. But he's well-rounded. He'll go home to that man will ground him. She'll say, Marcus, you got 3 kids. You're a great man. Everybody loves you. He'll say, you're right, Amanda. He'll be okay.
As Johnson on second and long after the penalty takes a keeper up the middle for a short gain. Miamisburg, I'm sure they're happy to get back to 4-4, but also they got to fix those penalties. That was a big problem for them tonight, especially in the third quarter. That it didn't turn out to hurt them tonight, but it may very well hurt them if that becomes an issue next week or in 2 weeks when they take on Springfield and Springboro in back-to-back games.
Hey, speaking of Springfield, they beat Springfield last year. Probably the biggest upset in the state of Iowa. Springfield went all the way to the state championship game.
They did.
There's Mike Snyder, there's Lance. I can see a little frustration on Lance's part. Look, he's had it. I just read his lips. I've had it. You know what? Just one of those nice, Lance. Got to clean up the mistakes.
There was a point where everything was going Beavercreek's way, it seemed. Miamisburg was able to right the ship, and with just over a minute left, it seems like they will get the win, move to 4-4. But again, those kinds of mistakes, it didn't hurt them tonight, but it may very well hurt them if they make those mistakes next week and in 2 weeks.
Hey, Lance, here's something I learned from my mentor, Hank Snyder. A win is a win. Go home and enjoy it tonight. Have a Coke, Henry, after the game. Leslie, she'll get you guys Cokes, and you guys will be all set.
So from the 33-yard line, with just over a minute to go in the game, Johnson looking downfield, has a man caught in stride. Owen Ranley, touchdown Beavers.
Something to build on. Something to build on. That's what Coach Covers has been preaching.
Playing until the clock hits 0.
Yeah, let's get better. Something to build on every week. They got lots to build on tonight.
That touchdown brought to you by Donatos. That is the second touchdown pass of the half from Johnson to Ranley. First one was for 15 yards back in the third quarter. This one good for 33.
Well, I'm real curious. Some Beavercreek fan, let me know, when's the last time the Beavers scored 27 in a G-Walk game? Maybe it was recently, but I don't remember it.
They are going for 2 with 54 seconds left. Johnson rolling to his left. His throw was low and incomplete. Luke Kowalski was the intended receiver, so it is a 23-point ball game. Still 3 scores. But here's another look at that touchdown. Touchdown brought to you by Donato's. Perfectly placed pass on the part of Johnson. That is his second touchdown pass of the night. And it's a 23-point game with 54 seconds left. Sean Morris already executed an onside kick to perfection back in the third quarter. You think he'll try it again?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? There's Lance. Yeah, look happy. Be happy, Lance. You won. What's Grandpa Hank Snyder tell you? All those penalties. That's hard, though, when you have those penalties, Matt, to go home and say, oh, that was a lot of fun tonight. Hey, 8 G-Walk championships out there at Northmont. Yeah, 8 playoff appearances out there at Northmont. Oh, my gosh, did he put some teams out. I'm head coach at CJ. He's head coach at Northmont. We've sold out Welcome Stadium. Javon Ringer. Oh, my goodness.
Former Michigan State running back. He was a top 10 finisher in the Heisman voting in 2008, I believe.
Northmont had a young man named Coleman went on to the NFL. There's your onside. Another perfect one. Oh, they got it. No.
Scramble for the ball. Looks like Miamisburg learned their lesson from the previous onside kick situation, and they recovered. So they take over with 50 seconds left, and it appears that all that will be required is 2 knees. They will need to take at least one more play after this first snap. That gives us a chance to remember next week we have a very entertaining game from the Miami Valley League. Xenia back at Doug Adams Stadium. They will look to first go unbeaten tomorrow night where they host Stebbins. But coming up next Thursday night, October 13th, they will be hosting the West Carrollton Pirates on MyTV Dayton. That's 22.3, the channel over the air, channel 24 on Spectrum. Also streaming online at Dayton247now.com and online on our Facebook page, Dayton 24/7 Now. Brock Bond takes the first of what will be at least 2 knees needed to see out the remaining 40-plus seconds of game clock. And Miamisburg will move to 4-4 on the season, get right back into the playoff picture in Region 2. Beavercreek will move to 2-6. This was a game they needed, but there will be better days for the Beavers under Marcus Colvin. That was the reason why they brought him from CJ. But the final knee is taken, the final seconds being counted down, and Miamisburg keeps the impressive streak of home teams winning on Thursday Night Lights. Lance Schneider, in his 4th season with the Vikings, going out to beat the first-year head coach of the Beavercreek Beavers, Marcus Colvin. They had success at Northmont and at CJ, respectively.
So I'll give Caleb Rigger a hug. Caleb played for Lance out at Northmont.
But Miamisburg back to 500, setting themselves up for a strong end to the regular season as they get ready for the trophy presentation. Tej Joshi will be presenting them with that TNL trophy shortly, presented by Rand Associates. And that will be coming up very soon. Not a lot of time from now as the handshakes continue. We'll take a quick break. Trophy presentation coming up next. Miamisburg 49-26 winners on Thursday Night Lights. We'll be back after this. 49-26 the final at Holland Field. Miamisburg with the win on Thursday Night Lights. They improved to 4-4 on the season. And right now, the group of Vikings ready to receive the TNL trophy. Let's go down to Tej Joshi with head coach Lance Schneider and the Vikings. Tej?
Coach, a big win for you guys, a huge offensive explosion. Tell me about your team. How are you guys able to put up all these numbers tonight?
We just had kids make plays when they had the opportunity, and defensively we played pretty well, and offensively we took advantage of all the situations when we had the opportunity to.
This win is big for your season overall going forward. Tell me what that means to you all.
And just catapults us into next week when we got to go to Springfield, and we figure we got to win 2 games to get in the playoffs. So this is one of them that gets us going that way.
And as you put it, a lot of the guys made big plays, especially a lot of the upperclassmen. You did anything special to sub out your seniors?
Well, they're a great bunch of kids, man. A lot of them played really well tonight. That's a testament to their character and type of kids they are.
Coach, I know your players want to start celebrating. We're going to let them do that in just a second. It's time now to present you Champions Trophy. Coach, here you go. Thank you guys up in the broadcast. We're going to let these guys get to celebrating.
Thank you, Tej. A group of Vikings celebrating with a TNL trophy. Great to involve everyone, and they're excited to get back to 4-4. But as Lance Schneider, you may have seen, there were also a lot of situations throughout the game where Beavercreek had a chance to make a comeback. They were down 21, or they were up 21 at one point. Miamisburg was had that lead cut down to 8, but Miamisburg ultimately pulling away with the win. Time now for superlatives, starting with our drive of the game, presented by Carol Wirtz Tire Company. A second quarter drive for Miamisburg that ate up a lot of clock and ultimately resulted in a key touchdown for the Viking offense, as here was Brock Vaughn looking over the middle, completing this pass to Connor Smith, and what a block from Tegan Williams. That was just as important as the actual reception itself, but that is your drive of the game, presented by Carol Wirtz Tire Company. Our player of the game, also presented by Carol Wirtz Tire Company, will be coming up shortly as the Miamisburg players singing their alma mater to the same tune as Carmen, Ohio. The Buckeyes, of course, will be on the road at Michigan State in the game on ABC 22. Our player of the game, there was only one choice. Senior Jackson McGowan. He had 4 touchdown catches, and some of them in spectacular fashion, a lot of them on deep balls. It didn't matter whether it was Preston Barr under center, whether it was Brock Vaughn. It could have been me under center, but Jackson McGowan had some great plays, including this outstanding one-handed catch. And talking about our play of the game upcoming, that will be brought to you by Wright and Schulte. Let's go back to that one-handed catch. Able to get separation from the defender, and McGowan capping off his 4 touchdown night with that spectacular grab from Preston Barr under center. So Miamisburg 49-26, the winners over the Beavercreek Beavers. The Vikings are now 4-4 on the season. Beavercreek now 2-6. Only 2 more weeks left in the regular season, then 2 more weeks left of Thursday Night Lights. We will see you next week in Greene County, Doug Adams Stadium, as Xenia hosts West Carrollton. And then our season finale in 2 weeks when Meadowdale faces opponents at Welcome Stadium. One last break. We'll be back after this. You're watching Thursday Night Lights on MyTV Dayton.